We have lost this election to a state man. We can only hope that President Bokai will not repeat the tragic mistake that we all made. And I'm vindicated. This is why I never participated in 2023 election because I never had confidence in WIA. And let me state it for the record. WIA used all of us 2017 for one major purpose to replenish his lost assets. The enthusiasm that has characterized the CDC during 2005, 2011, and 2017 election plummeted when Weah's only desire was to amass wealth for him, his family, and few cronies of his.
Good
We
morning,
have
early
lost this
risers.
election.
You're
We
listening to
left
the
the
Punch Breakfast
party
Show, your
member
ultimate
in
wake up
we
call,
left
with your hosts Bokai Amara Kamara and Harris G. Belly. Rise and shine, everyone. It's time to kickstart your day with laughter and great vibes.
That's right. Grab your coffee and get ready for a sizzling morning packed with the hottest topics and the coolest tunes.
We've got everything you need to jumpstart your day, from news that matters to interviews with your favorite. We're dishing out those feel-good stories that will put a smile on your face.
So sit back, relax, and let us spice up your mornings. The Punch Breakfast Show starts now.
Stay tuned for a morning full of energy and entertainment. Good morning, early risers. You're listening to the Punch Breakfast Show, your ultimate wake-up call, with your hosts Bokai Amara Kamara and Harris G. Belly. Rise and shine, everyone. It's time to kickstart your day with laughter and great vibes.
That's right. Grab your coffee and get ready for a sizzling morning packed with the hottest topics and the coolest tunes.
We've got everything you need to jumpstart your day, from news that matters to interviews with your favorite. We're dishing out those feel-good stories that will put a smile on your face.
So sit back, relax, and let us spice up your mornings. The Punch Breakfast Show starts now.
Stay tuned for a morning full of energy and entertainment, right here on Punch Radio 106.7 FM.
Sit back, relax, and let us spice up your mornings. The Punch Breakfast Show starts now.
Stay tuned for a morning full of energy and entertainment, right here on Punch Radio 106.7 FM.
Another wonderful, great, and blessed day across Liberia. 4 minutes past 7 o'clock. Let me say good morning to you wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Punch Breakfast Show. It comes your way Monday to Friday. Yeah, Monday to Friday at about this time. That exactly 7 o'clock a.m. From 7 a.m. it takes us up until 10. And you just don't want to miss today's edition of the program because it's going to be a mind-blowing, interactive, let me say good morning to you wherever you are and however you are listening. Welcome. Bokai Kamara is my name. I'm pretty seated here for you. Pretty soon, my colleague Harris Bailey will be joining us this morning on the show, and we'll be driving you from now up until later this morning. It's cloudy out there. It's kind of raining, and yeah, we are in a season of rain. Yes, we are in a season of rain. So whenever you are leaving your house, you have to carry along with you your rain gears and other necessary items as you go through. So let me say good morning, welcome. We will drive you through. Today is the 17th day of the month of July, AD 2024. With a time at exactly 6 minutes past 7 o'clock. Welcome wherever you are. And we have few things to look at this morning that will drive us up until 9 o'clock. At 9, we'll have Mark Pacquiao. He's in Liberia and I have decided to join us this morning to discuss some national issues that are trending in Liberia. So he will be joining us at exactly 9 o'clock. But from now up until 9 o'clock, he just don't want to be a part. Let me say, you just don't want to go away because we are about to get into serious discussion this morning that will drive us up until later on. Yeah. So for those of you watching us through our Facebook page, you can just leave your comment. Leave your comments there. We will read it out for you this morning on the radio. Just leave your comments on the show. Tell us where you are following us from. We'll read it out for you this morning on the show. So a lot of trending issues making news in Liberia. Yeah, a lot of trending issues making news in Liberia. So the last time, let me say on yesterday, we previously stated that we were going to hold far to the audit report coming in from the General Auditing Commission, the one relating to the National Security Agency, that NSA. We told you guys that we're going to hold fast to it, but I think there is need that we discuss that this morning. We dig deep into who's been spending and how things are like, and I'm getting this disturbing report also about funds that was misused at the Ministry of Agriculture. People are saying that if you think that guys from the CDC misuse funds at the National Security Agency, the NSA, then just go and read the audit report coming in from the Agriculture Ministry. The Agriculture Ministry, the reports coming in from there that we are gathering, it's kind of disturbing. Yeah, it's kind of disturbing. And today, the Public Account Committee at the House, we kickstarts the hearing ceremony today. Hope we can be a part of that this afternoon. Once we leave the radio, we'll try to make our way if we can be there today. But we'll follow the entire process, and when we come back tomorrow, we'll make sense of what's unfolding and how things will unfold today at the Capitol building. But before we I cross over to my colleague, there's this saying that before you kickstart something, your first appearance or your first interaction with the people will show to them that if you are serious for business or not. Because the House, the Public Account Committee, if they want to succeed in fighting corruption, if they want to succeed in bringing people to book when it comes to the 184 other reports that was released by the General Auditing Commission, today will speak volume. Yeah, but today, what they will do on today will tell us that if they are ready for business or not. Let me cross over and welcome my colleague Harris. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Waka, and good morning, everyone. I'm honored. I am doing good this morning, and I'm good as well.
Okay, it's good to have you this morning on the show. A lot of trending issues making news. You slept here last night. It's kind of difficult. You sleeping here? They made a news editor now, so they made new portfolio. They made new portfolio added up already. So they made a news editor. So he have to make sure that the news go on time. And to be real, you guys from the newsroom, there have been a lot of improvement lately when it comes to the news since my boy became the news editor. Well, coming this morning in the car, Jose said, "Yeah, I need our news." we'll get new editor now, so the news making sense. But Harris,
Yeah, Bwaka, like you rightly said, we're doing good, and I'm saying thanks as well to the news director has been very instrumental also. Mind you, initially when we needed to sort things out, having just a director superseeing the affairs of the news was challenging. Now that you have the helping hands, you have the news department being structured in a way. We have supervisor of the news as well. Aside from the director, aside from the editor, we have someone that supersedes also to ensure that all of the reporters are in time to send their news. On top of what we did is that we have a schedule that a fixed time all of the stories should be in. So the measure put in place is working for us perfectly, and our reporters as well. They have reawaken the spirit, because the newsroom, as we've been told, is the powerhouse of the of every media institution.
Yeah.
So yeah, Punch, we have done that. The reforms, very good, and we're doing great. So we hope that the support we have received from management, we hope and continue to enjoy that support as well. But it's good. It's good to be here this morning. This part, like you said, it was challenging. Had to be up the night to this morning, but it's because of the Liberian people as well. We have challenged ourselves that we will do this in the interest of them. Informing the people is one of the most important thing we want to do, because for us, we believe an informed citizenry is one of the best guarantee for a continuing democracy. That is, if people are informed, Bwaka, it help them make informed decision and to make a decision in the interest of the country as well. And we will not sit here to allow politicians or those self-seeking, greedy politicians to miss and disinform our people to satisfy their sensitive motives. We will be right here when the conversation comes up, Bwaka. We sell the information out to the people. So I'm honored this morning.
Okay, so the hearing will start on today at the National Legislature. We talked about that yesterday, and this morning we will kickstart our discussion with that before heading to the other report that is coming in from the National Security Agency. There have been this other disturbing news. We haven't laid our hand on the documents here, but they have this disturbing news that funds that was misapplied at the Ministry of Agriculture. If you think that the National Transit Authority was mismanaged, just wait and read the other report coming in from the Agriculture Ministry. It's totally damaging.
Yeah, it is totally damaging, Bwaka. And for me, it is of no surprise. Bwaka, for me, it is not something strange. You see, your proceedings, your dealings, and the way you tailored your approach, Bwaka, or your doings as a person, it gives people the time or perhaps the idea to predict your ending. Now, what do I mean is that if, for instance, we sit on this radio and the way we begin a conversation, it helps someone to to predict how we're going to end the conversation we started. That's the same way across government. If you inherit a government or a country, as with the CDC government at the time in 2017, when they inherited this country, a country 2005, we had to go for our first post-election, post-war elections. You had a government of the Unity Party at the time that needed to transform the minds of the people. So someone would say it was a time of reconciliation. It was a time of rehabilitation. So the first 6 years of Madam Salif were greeted by these things. Thankfully, as well, we had the support of our international partners that help us in that drive. So by the end of 2011, we already had our international friends saying that we think you are strong enough. I mean, the level we have reached, we think that you are good enough and you can stand on your own now as a country. While we were in that discussion, we saw the CDC emerges as one of the formidable forces at the time in elections. And you had a lot of disturbances. You had, you can remember that incident at the CDC headquarters. You want to record it one day in West Point, that they challenged the security and they pressured the government to take some decisive steps that could, if not taken at the time, would have plunked or damaged the security situation of our country. So when we came from that, after in 2017, we already had a foundation that reconciliation was breathed, was being entertained. We had a foundation where rehabilitation was already visible. A lot of our youth that had the time to participate in the Civil War, most of whom had already, honor one rehabilitation and everything.
Mhm.
So at that level of the conversation, Georgia inherited a country where we had a police sector, for instance, or a police force that was already trained by foreign partners as well. Georgia inheriting a sector, for instance, like the armed forces are already revamped. Georgia inheriting a sector that, for instance, the NSA were already restructured. Georgia inheriting a system where you have the EPS already restructured in the different ways in which the government should be, or the president should be protected, or already put in place. So it was on that basis he was continuing. So Georgia then had a time again to go back to have a conversation surrounding reconciliation. You already had a candidate in Joseph Boakai that lost elections and willfully accepted defeat. And one of those are called and congratulated Georgia at the time. You had other opposition figures like the late Charles Bromsky and others, even though they challenged the elections in court. And when the court ruled and said, no, the evidence you provided are not sufficient, they willfully accept the court's ruling. So such a country reconciliation, was never the conversation. So we had a country now that the minds are already transformed. It was time for nation building. What did Georgia did at the time? In 6 years, in 6 months, Boakai, he started building condominiums. He had to destroy Henan Street resident and build, the best of a state-of-the-art building as well were being constructed. In the space of 6 months, you already had construction works ongoing at the Falkland and in different locations. So a government like that, Boakai, you will predict there will be corruption. Nowhere around the world that a president takes over in less than 6 months, the president will have properties in his name. The president already having mansions already accredited to his name. So such a government, it predicts that the end time will be disastrous. Is this not what we experience in Liberia? Of course it is. For instance, in Rwanda, you have Paul Kagame winning 99% of the votes. If you were to ask why is it that Paul Kagame is winning 99%, you think that after winning elections in 2017, he started building condominiums for himself, was never going to win 99% of the people's vote. So it tells you that if a president takes over, the mindset is to have a lot of things put in place. That at first, it's not about yourself. It's about setting up the government, setting a standard that even if a government official wants to steal, he or she understands that stealing is actually forbidden. That stealing, if caught, will be dealt with accordingly. But George will welcome a conversation and embrace the idea. The idea that let's go and corrupt, let's go and steal, let's go and milk the people's resources. What happened in 3 years' time? He had his presidential, he had his minister of state already been sanctioned. In 3 years' time, he had his national port director already been sanctioned. In 3 months' time, he had his solicitor general been sanctioned. As we move along in the next year to follow, you have already his city mayor been sanctioned, and you have other government officials as well. Confidence of the president being sanctioned. Then Boakai asks himself if those hierarchies can be sanctioned or because of rampant corruption. Then you ask in the various ministry and agency what will happen in there, Boakai. For me, it's not a secret. For me, I know for fact, Boakai, as we have the conversation, and that the public and the hearing will kickstart up today. And as we move along, Boakai, there will be a lot of revelations coming up. For some of us that had the time to cover the CDC, especially when the CDC was in government, we had a time to cover the CDC and some of the conversation we listened to. It tells you that this is the right time that the government will act. Someone will say, why is it that the journalists were not flagging the information at the time? You needed an environment where when the information is, when the information is out, government receives the information, act upon it, and carry on investigation. If the Global Magnitsky, for instance, can sanction the presidential or the minister of state or presidential affairs, and the president willingly take to the media space without saying a word, but rather to think that it was political vision. But such an environment, what we all, a journalist do, even if you have the best of information in your possession.
And that was one of the points, like you said. then officials of the WEA administration, when it was sanctioned, the next thing our former president did was to go and say to the public that it was wish hunt against his officials. And this, and Harris, we saw a clear picture. So now the guys they were asked, and it just kind of clear, Harris. For instance, you as a person now accuse me here sitting. You come and tell me, say, oh, Bwaka, you the one that stole the pen, the particular pen that we're using in a let me say in a studio there. That you don't want you stole the pen. There's need, if I know that I'm not part of it, or I wasn't the one that stole that pen, what will I do? I will clear myself.
Of course.
I will go to the law. I will clear myself. But since then, there was no action. What former president we had was that you guys should resign from your position. You guys should resign from your position. And they did. They did resign from their positions, but they were still receiving a salary. The salary that they were taking previously at their various job sites, they were still receiving them. Like McGill, the MP was still coming, umbrella.
Oh, yes.
The MP was coming, built away, the MP was still coming. Other people there, their pay was still coming. The only person that suffered the pinch was the former Solicitor General. Sivas. Under him, his salary was not coming on time. But the lack of McGill, they built away. And other people, they took their pay on time. So, fellow librarians, when we talk about the issue about corruption, we are not just limiting it to just stealing or whatsoever thing. Yesterday, Harris, there's this. Okay, I'm coming. I just read this. There's this report also out wherein people were sent on foreign missions in this country, out of this country rather. The former government sent a lot of people on foreign mission to our diplomatic offices in other countries. People that are not capable, that are not qualified of serving this position, they were sent there. In less than 2 months. The foreign service became overwhelmed. A lot of people, deep Maswa came here. Just writing letters, sending it to people.
Oh yes.
Telling people, say, you go. Everybody, when George Weah lost election, close to 700 people were sent out of this country to go on foreign mission. And I'm reading this. Okay. This is what I wanted to get from Senator Abraham Darrow 4 hours ago. He said the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs held a meeting with authorities of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Tuesday, July 16, 2024, in the conference room of my office to hear the matter affecting some foreign service officials / employees. This was predicated upon communication by Senator Sir Joseph of Mosurado County, and Nathaniel McGill of Margibi County to plenary for redress. The committee was informed about ongoing efforts to repatriate over 50 of such officials / employees that were deployed at various Liberian diplomatic missions around the world on unclear circumstances between July 26 and July 27, 2023. The repatriation is expected to begin within 2 weeks. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs further that some of those deployed on unclear circumstances did not meet the benchmark or criteria to serve as foreign service officials / employees, and that there were many, there may be room to revet some for possible proper employment where applicable. The Committee on Foreign Affairs will continue to monitor the process and assist the ministry in the effort to ensure justice and fair play regarding this matter. So, fellow Liberians, out of 60 persons that was sent just within 2023, we have 50 of them. They are unqualified. They were not vetted through the referral process. They were sent out of this country by Maxwell Kemoya and the folks that are the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Mhm.
And they went to various diplomatic missions across the globe. So now, to clean the system, the senator Natalia McGill and Bill Twaway, not Bill Twaway, but Sir Joseph, they say that they rented a communication to see the need of calling some of them back. We welcome that. Mama Harris, it's just like you are not qualified to do something,
Mhm.
and they take you and send you there. What are you going to do there?
Mhm.
That's the question. What are you going to do there? So almost 50 out of the 60 persons that were sent just within 2020, they are all unqualified. They now went through the vetting process, and they are being recalled. They say within 2 weeks' time, they all should come back to Liberia. They all should come back. And not just coming back, if they call you back and they realize that you are qualified to stay serve your position, you will be sent back. You will be sent back. That's what the government is saying, Harris.
Mhm.
I don't know, you want to chip in on that before we can move on?
Yeah,
to
I'm disturbed by this report, Obuakai. The committee was informed about ongoing efforts to repatriate over 50 of such officials and employees that were deployed at various Liberian diplomatic missions around the world on unclean circumstances between July 26 and July 27, 2023. The repatriation is set to begin within 2 weeks. Oh my word. But my word. Buckeye, this is troubling. This is troubling for us. And it warrants a thorough investigation as well. That the government will have to extend to other countries as well, where we have diplomatic ties. The reason why we have a lot of those officials, because mind you, if you serve in the diplomatic missions out of the country, of course you get paid with Liberian taxpayer money. It's what the government will use to pay you. So like that, you have to put up the best performances, right? But come to think of this kind of report coming from the foreign service of the house, that you have about 50 persons, whether officials or employees. So this means that perhaps it could be some of the ministers, some of the ambassadors themselves, or perhaps staff also within the office. We're talking about the different positions, right? So that it is worrisome. Okay, it shows how our diplomatic threatened, how our diplomatic conversation, our diplomatic international stage has been our relationship, our image on the international setting already been or is damaged. If the temper with them has been damaged, how can this government reconsolidate? How can the government revamp and restore the confidence of other diplomatic missions around the world in Liberia? It's a conversation that Sarah Bessel Nyantil is working on. It's a conversation as well that the government of Liberia is working on. I was just reading through an information from Executive Mansion. About 7 ambassadors destined to Liberia have brought in a letter of credence to the government. and they met the president on yesterday. About 7 countries. You want to talk about Sri Lanka? I'm saying for instance, Sri Lanka, for instance, rather. You want to talk about Burundi, for instance. You want to go on to name all of those different countries. Hungary as well. I'm saying for instance. But what it shows is that if you have a government that other countries are confident with, and it starts with the foreign minister. The mistake we made in this country to have a foreign minister who was already a foreign minister who had alleged rape scandal that up to today he's yet to answer for the allegations as well. Will obviously be tampered with. And this is what happened for 6 years in this country. Our passports, for instance, were given in the hands of foreigners. Foreigners were having diplomatic passports in this country. Nowhere around the world you see that to happen. That you have, for instance, citizens of different countries having diplomatic passports, having service passports of this country. Nowhere you see that to happen. But it happened in Liberia for the last 6 years. For the last 6 years, you have non-Liberians having passports in this country. They were given passport willfully at the discretion of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in consultation with the president. For 6 years in this country, there were demanding report from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. There were situations where our international credentials are already damaged. And the president, quote unquote, instructed his foreign minister to investigate and report to him. Since then, for 6 years, there was not a single report come out of Buckeye. And we didn't see a single report. And that's how it ended. So if you have a government like the government of President Bwaka Nana is working to restore the diplomatic credentials and our foreign relations with other countries, this conversation will not be sold out to you. Now much persons will bring this conversation to you. But it's important for you fellow Liberians. We have a world that's already digital. So it's good to say from the convenience of your home. At times when we say these things, it's not about you want to think that maybe we just say these things out of the way we want to do it. But take your smartphones, right? Go on it and ask how Liberia, or just ask about, tap in Liberia diplomatic credentials and understand the different reports that on this country, particularly over the last 6 years. Then you ask yourself, where were we heading? The country. What was happening? If what was continuing after up to this time, what was happening? You have 50 unexplainable persons. 50 unexplainable persons. Now, one error. At different embassies and mission stations of the country. There they are working, quote unquote, they are unqualified. If not unqualified, the processes leading to them, receiving government assignments of the different countries remain questionable.
But what I'm observing here, I'm seeing July 26 to this 27.
Oh, yes, of 2023.
2023.
Why are the elections? Where are the elections?
July 26 to the 27. So meaning that one day in between the game, other letter
about 50 persons already out of the country. Because the guys were already working and they were saying they play. They pay for play. So for instance, back when we see you're a bit influential, then we gave you letter of credence. We gave you a summit. Then you go out of the country. Then we think that when you're out of the country for the short space of time you're going to work prior to the elections, then you come back and use your influence. Like for instance, my good friend Justino, right? My good friend Justino shouted as well. So for him, he was appointed prior to that period. He'd been serving at the United Nations prior to that period. But what happened during elections? He abandoned his diplomatic mission and returned in the country, and he was assigned in Grand Gila County as the deputy campaign manager for CDC. All throughout the campaign activities, he was here. So come to think about why if there were discussions at the United Nations General Assembly in that period, and Liberia needed to participate. Justino were in Grand Gila. He was in the slums. He was in the towns and villages campaigning for George Weah. So it tells you that's how over the years the guys did everything. So the 50 individuals and convinced during the elections, all of them returned in the country. Yes, of course. They returned in the country. They got sent in the various countries to go and campaign. I don't know how all of those strategies they're not working on the Liberian people. Why when the people mind are big, when the people are testament of their suffering, now propaganda can make you win again. No. Now who the influential person can make you win. To do that is the people. When the people are indecisive in terms of what the government has done and what the government intends to do and the present challenges before them. So look at what the government have done. consider, then look at the prospects of the government, then look at the current challenges. Even if the challenges that deliberate this morning, if the challenges are overwhelming. But if they look at the government have taken a private and look at the government blueprint about what she wants to do in this, then aren't the people's confident that this is well, let's continue. But last time it happened. After the 6 years, were there not challenges in Liberia? Of course, there were challenges. Were there a need for a change in the government? Yes, of course, there was a need for a change in government. But again, Liberians look at, even though our challenges are overwhelmed, but again, we see the government prospects. We see the government strength, and we see the blueprint of the government in the years to come. We think that we can continue on the blueprint, even though we have problems. With George Weah, Boakai, the last 6 years, the Pro agenda was a development that was an agenda that the government had after taking over. They didn't have an agenda before taking over. They had an agenda after taking over, before they held consultation and launched the proper agenda. Nowhere around the world you see that. Prior to President Boakai becoming president, the arrest agenda already in full swing. The arrest agenda was there, and it was a conversation that President Boakai and his surrogates were taking to the Liberian people. They were already having a conversation explaining what the president intends to do at the time when, if he needed to be, if he elected president. For George Weah, what was happening in Boakai prior to taking over, George Weah had no campaign manifesto, and they went to elections. Again, the Liberian people 2 terms, so they needed to try or to have a new political party that will come and continue. Right, so they had George Weah elected on the basis. It was after elections in 2018 before the government had a proper agenda drafted, and they started to work on that. Whether they work with it or not, because if you say power to the people and you corrupting from the people, then I ask myself where the power. Where the power was, because power to the people is the people making decision, or the people. The people will make decisions on the resources. But you cannot be exploiting the resources. You cannot be stealing the resources of the country. Then you tell them say power to the people. Then where is the power? So you cannot tell us you having revamping the economy when the average Liberians in this country had no other alternative but to survive at the detriment or at the mercy of the pockets of politicians. Then you say you had a fixed economic strategy. You say you had an economic strategy on civil servants that statistics reveal that each civil servant in this country had about five dependents, and you went down and harmonized their salaries and take away from them. Then you come back and say you were giving power to the people, and you had an economic strategy to revamp. It is good to reflect ourselves on this happiness. It tells you where the country was at the time Joe Boakai took over. And what I'm saying the reasons why there are enough pressure now, or we're mounting pressure on the president to do more. Because this country was in a complete state of destitution. Boakai. What will have happened in the next 6 years if George Weah will continue on his presidency, will be even worse than what we experience now. Come to think of the records from the Agricultural Ministry. The Agricultural Ministry, have you asked yourself why over the last 5 years, Jenny Scopo was Agricultural Minister, and all what we listened to was the Bureau of Food Insecurity? A statistics after conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Assessment, it says that about 48% of Liberians are food insecure. You know what that means for a country like this that have vast land resources? That have land, we have sea, we have everything to our disposal. And we have about 48% of our citizens are food insecure. And that statistic wanted to say about 38% of the children born in Liberia are malnourished. Yeah. Because why? No food. No food. Okay. Yeah. Then you ask yourself how it was happening. These things are it's just so sad.
Absolutely sad. Absolutely sad. And we need to flag out some of these things, and we want to welcome all of the embassies that are about to, open here in Liberia. You get at least 6, right? Seven new ambassadors bringing a letter of credence to the president, and they're just on our open up, people, to let you guys know within 6 months' time, when some of these things are happening, it means that changes are being taking place. Harris, what will happen now? You start to get visa. To go to the countries that are about to open their offices here. Yeah. You see Czech Republic. You see other countries there, bro. It will help us. It will help us.
Of course, and I'm reading through. You have the countries. You have Namibia. You have Ireland. You have Guinea. You have Hungary, you have Burundi, you have Czech Republic, you have oh my word, the internet one again.
I don't know when they say Guinea. I don't understand Guinea part of it.
Brother Guinea, and but you know what I do, we're doing a fiasco be Ryan Guinea.
Also Guinea.
Oh, I know if we be Ryan Guinea be riding on us, who do but at least now officially the minute I say we won't do the thing for more. Imagine
Also be
imagine
Ryan
me
Guinea.
getting password to go Guinea back.
No man, you need password to go Guinea.
Oh my man, boy, we gonna have to do my 1,000 things here. When I have password to go Guinea.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my no get passport on Guinea, brother.
Visa rather. So but it's welcoming. It's a plus.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
good. It's a
You
plus.
know, Guinea has been a long-standing friend to Liberia.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, she has assisted Liberia in so many ways. And so making the thing formal now is good. Yeah, but it's good. So it's good that we make it formal, you know. So we too, when I can be in Guinea, you know, I get visa to Ghana Liberia. We'll get visa by car to come, I'm saying by road to Ghana Liberia. But it's good,
No,
man.
we are not
Yeah,
just
it's-
limiting it to Guinea, man. We have close to six new
we have Burundi as well.
Burundi.
I mean, Namibia has been one of the countries I
Namibia.
admired. I mean,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
ecotourism
Yeah,
system,
tourism
yeah,
have a
tourism.
very good touristic, you know, territories ongoing in that country. So it has been one country I have admired as well, and I hope one of these days as well we will be there, and we'll bring the Punch Breakfast Show from there. But then we're already straight in.
Straight here with you, eh?
But guys, we gotta move on. Mm.
Yeah, so your kickstart from your end, the issue about this report coming in from the National Security Agency, NSA, it been something been flagged out. I don't know if you get an article there. Just read for our people.
Yeah,
so they can listen.
I was reading through this morning.
Yeah.
Early this morning, I was
Mhm.
awake, and I was reading through this article. It is damaging.
Mm.
It is damaging, Boakai. And it says that in his quest to fulfill the major campaign promise of fighting corruption, as well as ensuring transparency and accountability across various line ministries and agencies of government, President Joseph Boakai mandated the General Auditing Commission to commission a comprehensive audit of three key institutions, including the Executive Protection Service, EPS, the Central Bank of Liberia, and the National Security Agency, the NSA. The director of the president has contained in a formal communication. Okay, so this is just a background.
Mhm.
We move on. Let's go through what the report says. It says after more than 5 months since President Boakai commissioned the audit of the NSA and the CBL on February 7, 2024, a demanding leaked audit report in possession of this news outlet revealed that a US 24,700,000 that's 24.74 million and 621 million Liberian dollars. So that means read the figure over. So it's US 24 million and Liberian dollars 621 million were spent without evidence. Were spent without evidence of supporting documents such as payment vouchers, copy of checks, cash invoices, delivery notes, and all other relevant financial documents to prove various transactions. The one that says the report dated May 24th stated in paragraph 4 of page 6, management made payments for goods and services amounting to US $24,749,002 and Liberian dollars $621,949,854.95 without evidence of adequate supporting documents such as payment vouchers, copy of checks, cash invoices, delivery notes, and all other relevant documents. It went on further to say that the leak report in question captured expenditures amounting to US $15,709,952 for special operation services. Whoa.
Special
And-
operations service, how much?
$709,950 for special operations services.
Wow.
It says, according to the report, EPS management development planning through the Central Bank of Liberia without supporting documentation to explain the purposes for the transfers. Furthermore, the report stated that the EPS management expended an assets of US 12,177,800.
That's an excess.
Expended an excess. Thank you, of US $12,177,865.76 between the approved budget and the fiscal altering reports for fiscal year 2018-2019.
Reread that part. Please reread that portion.
The report stated that the EPS management expended an excess of US $12,177,865.76 between the approved budget and fiscal altering reports for fiscal year 2018 to 2019 to fiscal year 2023 without evidence of an approved recasted budget. It said the GSC report revealed that management did not provide detailed ledgers for expenditures amounting to US $64,461. That's $64,461,625. Okay, let me get this over. They say management did not provide detailed ledgers for expenditures amounting to US $64,461,625.71 for fiscal year 2018-2019 to fiscal year 2023. It said the bank statement of the EPS showed that James E.G. Herbst, chairman of the Employees Division, Development Funds, and an A signatory to the account, withdrew more than $188,630 from the fund's bank account using the mobile money transfer app, UDirect and LEO apps for personal use. The report further revealed that James E.D. Herbst also withdrew the amount of $50,000 United States dollars to purchase land without authorization from the board for resale to the employees, non-compliant with approved policies. The report also uncovered that management did not remit into the government consolidated account the total amount of US $126,860, which was deducted from the salaries of delinquent EPS staff. It said during the period on audit from 2018 to 2023, the following personnel managed the affairs of the EPS: Mr. Chukon Rabos, Director; Mr. Sojat H. Waro, Assistant Director; Mr. Matthew J. Cooker, Chief of Administration; and Mr. Seward Briggs, Chief of Operations. So this is the report, Buakai.
So all the money misapplied, mismanaged. Let's begin with now we'll take it bit by bit. Here it says the management made a payment for goods and services amounting to $26,749,002, and that's USD. Then the ARD is $621,941,854.95 without evidence. GSC leak report audits, Mr. GSC leak audit reports. I was only in control of manpower and not financial matters. I did not sign any check or manage any money. Former EPA Chief of Operations Silver Bridge told a newspaper in his quest to fulfill a major campaign promise of fighting corruption. That's great that you read that part already. The director of President Boakai has contained in a formal communication to the GSE requested the audit of 3 public institutions to cover the period between 2018 to 2023. The presidential press office said blah blah blah. Okay, let's come to the money aspect. Okay, after more than 5 months since President Boakai commissioned the audits of the NSA CBL in February 2024, a damaging leak audit reports possession of this newspaper has revealed that's 24 million. No, 24.74 million. 24.74 million and LRD to 621 million. I know the number they said. Do I BBC? You can confuse people. But so the guys, the money they were instead of getting the money on fire, or instead of using the money for its internal purposes, Harris, they were taking the money from the central bank, like we stated yesterday. What happened was that, fellow Liberians, when the guys request for like 5 million USD, their operation for like a month or 2 to 3 months or 4 months, when they say, oh, we want to carry out this operation and we need roughly about $1 million or $2 million. Instead of they just requesting for that $1 million, the guys will request for 5 million. They will request for 6-7 million. And they will go and take it from the central bank. And there was no documentation to prove some of these things. And the central bank, what really happened was that there's the clearer the guys there at the central bank, the guys were taking note. Because they know that one day there'll be an audit report coming out, or they will be audited. So what the folks there at the central bank were doing, whenever they send for money, whenever the NSA will send for money, they within the NSA they will be thinking that nobody taking track of the amount that they were taking from the central bank. But the guys at the central bank were recording everything. When they take $5 today, they will put it on paper. They say, yes, NSA took this amount of money. So and so did. When they take $10 tomorrow, they will say, yes, NSA took the amount of money. And the people do have all of the records there at the central bank. So now, when the president called for the audit of the National Security Agency, what the guys at NSA did, you know what they did, Harris? They ran to the central bank. The folks there at the checking department, those are responsible for check. So they went there and started telling the people that, it was EPS, right?
That's an EPS.
EPS, yeah, EPS. Sorry, EPS. They were going there, telling the folks now at the central bank, I hope you're not getting record on some of the things that are happening here. If you're having record, we want for you to destroy every records that every transaction that we did from so and so time and to so and so time. From so and so time to so and so time, we want for you to destroy all the records from EPS. And this is not just limited to the EPS, the NSA and other institutions. But man, when the government wants to steal money, they can use the EPS and the NSA to steal. That's what they can do, because they know that people are not auditing NSA now.
When you talk about audit, someone say, "Oh, it has security implications."
Yes. So that's just what been happening.
Buckeye, I'm careful this morning, and I'm broken. If that's a word to use, I'm broken. Buckeye, I'm imagine how a country like Liberia that has been peaceful over the last 6 years, that a country like Liberia does not experience any terroristic threats, and which of course we don't envisage such. A country like Liberia, Buckeye, where the peace has been protected over the years. We all what we witness in this country, there are just minor situations, minor conversations, and everything. We don't see anyone that authorities are threatening the survivability of the states. Even though George were underperformed over the last 6 years in terms of managing the affairs of the country, evidenced by the election results. We can use election results as our reliance. So when I say underperformed, you want to ask me. So the election results are our guarantee. So even to that point, that there was dissatisfaction when Liberians said that enough is enough from this government, Buckeye, the people waited for the means in which has been outlined in the Constitution to go for elections. Even to a point that the opposition felt that the government is managing the affairs of the state, the opposition waited for elections. So a country like this, you tell me you spend hoping 24 million United States dollars on a single security institution. You tell me a country like this, you're spending a whooping 621 million Liberian dollars only on a single security institution. Now, listen, you get this thing. We are not saying that the 24 million US and the 6 million and the 621 million Liberian dollars in total, which is about 27 million United States dollars, were directed just to a single security agency. Now, the entire security sector of our country, even to our point, if we say the entire security sector of our country will have about 27 million United States dollars over the last 3-4 years, we'll have a conversation surrounding that.
Yeah.
Because we look around, aside from the Liberian National Police, that basically you find out they are into almost every day managing crimes and any different happenings. You don't find the EPS really involved in the kind of situations unless they are called upon. So how is it that the EPS able to use about 27 million within a space of 4 years, and you had the Liberian National Police over the last 6 years that budget having exceed even 15 or 20 million, and the Liberian National Police is almost like everyday activity. Then so look at the EPS. Okay, fine. Let's have a conversation around the EPS. You have an institution like that, just a single security institution, Buckeye. I mean, the figures that are coming up. When I read through the articles yesterday and we start to do our fact findings, a few of our folks who have at the Central Bank of Liberia, we start to do our counter check, and we got to receive the figures are corresponding to that of the article figures that come out. And Buckeye, you get to understand how Liberians will be able to corrupt from the country that comes to this extent. We said that we'll criticize the foreign nationals. We said that we'll criticize Western Cluster. We said that we'll criticize the other concession company that are taking the resources from the country. But are you not aware that your fellow Liberians, your brothers and sisters, that the president has said, come in, well, let's work together. Were the ones that was corrupting the system. Again, it's because they received the confidence of the president. Because if you have an official that's corrupt, and the president feels confident working with that person, even though there were accounts that came out, there's conversations surrounding EPN and to the team. It came out. I can recall sometimes after the coronavirus, there were conversations again surrounding the EPS that came out. And all what we listened to Georgia did not do, had a thing to say about it. It tells you that how the president was confident working with the EPS. So the confidentiality of the president warrants as well a conversation. It tells you what the interest of the president that warrants his confidentiality over the years, that he was extremely confident with the EPS management. So if 27 million is be able to spend over 5 years when the EPS officer over the last 3 years not even changed uniform. Over the last 3 years, even the vehicles that the vehicles that they were using Buckeye over the last 5-6 years is still the same vehicle that they managed. Over the last 5-6 years, Buckeye, it was the same vehicle that they were using. Then you come to ask a house at 27 million, whooping 27 million United States dollars.
was used,
was used.
was mismanaged.
Bwaka, I'm willing to have 27 million who have been invested in the education system.
I tell
How
you,
27 million who have been invested in the healthcare delivery system. How 27 million who have been used to settle the continuous disruption of academic activities at UL. How 27 million who have been used to settle Bwaka, the dire need of road conditions in this country. Bwaka, if we were to use 27 million in this country, by this time, the main corridor from Sierra Leone to Liberia to Monrovia would have been pliable.
absolutely.
Would have been accessible, would have been in full swing. Bwaka, if we were to use 5 million or 10 million of that 27 million, the corridor from Browville to Central Monrovia would have been paved today.
Yeah.
And then we take that 27 million and put it in one security agency. One security institution are wearing party t-shirts.
Was that threat? Was there any
That's
threat
what
to
I'm saying.
Liberia?
There was no terrorist
No
threat.
threat.
The president, there are not time that George Weah was stuck up in traffic to
No.
be in a place there. Who had time for George Weah? When the last time he wasted, the last time George Weah went somewhere, he was attacked.
No.
If we want to talk about the president, just taking over President Bwaka in the first 2 months, he went to attend a graduation program and he was attacked.
Yeah.
The last 6 years of George Weah, not a single person.
Nobody.
George Weah was free. There were times George Weah go play basketball all around. Who had time for George Weah? That
Nobody.
were using 27 million for people to go stay and watch George Weah play basketball. Security officers to stay and watch George Weah play basketball. That why we were giving 27 million of our country money.
27 million in 4 years' time. So, man, the problem that there are no vehicles. EPS officers, no vehicles to even take them home. That last minute of time before the border, I did 1 or 2 buses.
Because we're driving close on elections.
And that was coming from the president. Oh. It was not from them. Oh. It was bought by the president, the former president George Manuel Weah. That was the time that he bought a vehicle for the EPS. But a whippy 20 some more million that was used on them just for security. The security that we had no security threat to our country. Absolutely no security threat to our country, but we use such a money. Guys, fellow Liberians, you that are listening to us this morning, when we tell you that the guys milk their country, your fees will be making for or we against people. No, we are not against anybody. We are not against anybody. All we are saying is the truth. The guys spend the money, like to say the money belong to them, and they are going to be absolutely nothing done. But this is what we are saying to President Bwaka now. Some of these things are unfolding, and we are seeing it, and we are talking about it. Liberians are listening to us. Now, our call here to the president. If actions are not taken on some of these guys, some of the guys that are spearheaded the EPS, for example, if actions are not taken, the legacy you built for over years will be damaged, Mr. President. The legacy that you tried to build for years will be damaged. You have to muster the courage, Mr. President. We Liberians are calling on you now. Even though they have been set up, there have been reports coming up from the General Auditing Commission, but we want actions to be taken. We want to let the Liberian people know that you're standing up for them, so that this can happen to other government officials that are serving you. The people that are serving now will do the same thing. They will do the same thing. And when we're talking about security, now is the time that the Gregory Cuomo, the folks there at the LDA, the folks there at the Immigration Service, the paramilitary, the time that you guys there are people to say, oh, we need to protest.
We followed last time, witnessed that We saw some other officers of the EPS as well talk to the streets and threatening issuing terroristic remarks. But this is not any individual. Jesus to hold go and stay behind where and the ones that are suffering by it. The ones that left their homes, right? They had sleepless night when Georgia was sleeping behind him, right? They were guarding, providing protection for him, are the ones that suffer from this thing. The real guys are the ones that the Choco and the others that said Brakai and just live luxurious life. Because if you have about 27 million to manage in a space of 4 years with an institution where literally you want to see there's that much work being done, then you have a lot of folks. Brakai are for only just the payroll, right? The payroll of the EPS over the last 4 years were flooded. Were flooded.
Yeah.
You see the payroll of the EPS were flooded. It was one of the areas the guy was shopping their seditions. They catch you. No, Brakai, once you get a job, man, we're saying EPS.
We're saying EPS.
You gotta go to where you care nothing to do to go to where. Because you get no business going to where. Because we understand that we have 27 million already in stock. So we send Brakai there for instance. Whether Brakai has the knowledge or not, Brakai is on the payroll, receives his ID card, and he's already an EPA agent. More ends Brakai collect his money. He cares less to go to work. And that's how it was. That's how the system was corrupted, Brakai. Then you said that if the president wants to bring transparency and accountability to our governance structure, you say we will listen to you because you feel there's a wish hunt. Brother, let be wish hunt. If wish hunt is in the interest of the Liberian people, we welcome wish hunt. If wish hunt is in the interest of the people, we welcome wish hunt. This is not about one individual. We're not working. This country will not be, let's say, 175 one individual. It goes beyond the 5.2 million people. If you're using 27 million, let's say we take the 27 million, we'll get an EPS, we share that money. Each Liberian in this country will receive at least $2. Each Liberian in this country will receive at least $100. We will take that money and do something good. I've been very frank with you. Let's look at over the last year. Over the last 5 years, you had the Brakai, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, for instance. The LDA were being underfunded. So to the extent that the operations of the LDA were being hindered. Over the last 5-6 years, you had the LDA had only 2 to 3 functioning patrol pickups and what have you. In this place, in this town, we witnessed that. We had 27 million was at the EPS, were just in stock. Within a space of 2-3 months. Within a space of 2-3 years, we had the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency was being totally robbed of funding. There were no funds at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. When the LDA boss had talked to the media on several occasions and cried for budgetary allotment, we had about 27 million at the EPS. We're just sitting there and no one cares. Then you say you are fighting drugs in this country, Brakai. When we had the Liberia National Police was 24/7 responding to crimes in this country. When there were times that ritualistic killing took the center stage. There were times that mysterious death in this country was frequent as breakfast, and it needed the Liberia National Police to respond to every situation. We had 27 million was at the EPS. When the Liberia National Police on a daily basis was reporting to Liberians on the waves of ritualistic killings and what people should do. There was citizen engagement, there were awareness being carried out. And the Liberia National Police back then was being underfunded. There were times that the former Inspector General cried and complained to the Liberian government to increase funding. We had 27 million at the EPS that was sitting there. That every month, every day, every week was being used as operational form for the president, was being used as operational form for the executive mansion. Then you say today we shouldn't have that conversation. No, that 27 million must be accounted. And that's why we said the president has everything it takes, Brakai, to ensure that this thing is being brought to the letter. And this is just the EPS. Now we have several security institutions. Why the EPS? Why the NSA? And we reach the NSA here.
Yeah.
The NSA won't touch it. That's the EPS we're talking here, Brakai. That's the EPS we're talking about right here. When we had the military, there were times in this country that military personnel even complained because of low salaries. That it took people staff and that of Daniel Zianga at the time to meet with the heirs of and said, this is our country. They said, that's why you say you dare to defend the sovereignty of the state. So regardless of challenges, you need to hold the standards of this force. That was the conversation that softened the ground and quieted the storm at the time when army personnel had taken this. The conversation on there's a need for salary improvement. Since that time to now, there has been no conversation surrounding that. But you had EPS agents at that place were making $700, $800, $900. Buckeye, if you follow the payroll, you follow EPS agents were making up to $1,200 Buckeye in this country. Which of course is not a bad thing to pay people ham Sunday. Which of course is not a bad thing. But you cannot subject the country to spending a whooping $27 million on a single security institution that just money the president alone. When the president has no threat.
No threat.
When the president, even in elections,
they're now going to play soccer.
The president was playing. Imagine this
basketball.
This is the only country, and I stand to be correct, and I challenge anyone this morning. This is the only president, even though the president is a lover of sports, but you see at 9 o'clock on the street playing street soccer. At 9 o'clock on the street, you find as late as 11 o'clock, Georgia or England playing street soccer. You say the president has a threat against the president or whatever the case was. You say at 8 o'clock, the president was at the basketball court on 9th Street, and you had residents have gathered to that place to watch him play. Then you say that president that someone were harming or people were after that you spent $27 million of the country resources on such a person.
$27 million. Fellow Liberians.
But this is not small money talking about.
Not small money. They're just the EPS. They will come up with the NSA. You'll be shocked. So that, like we say, every fabric of the society have been eaten. Every fabric of our society. The guys damage it. They damage it totally. We just don't want to tell you about but you all know about the NSA. Let me say the NTA owner. The NTA owner. Whenever they used to how you know what man used to do to NTA when the bosses run, the man used to do it every week. You know, I can't get report when you get a motorbike get report every week. That's how the man used to do it to NTA. When the bosses report every week, they will say the president share. So they made on that thing it was paper Benio. They made on that thing it was paper. So it was just like they were making report to the president every weekend. Every weekend they will make report to the president. My man, the NTA got damaged to the extent that even a spare tire to get it at the NTA that it was problem. Spare tire, they couldn't afford to buy spare tire.
I mean, the guys, I don't really know what the guys want there for once in this country.
Seriously, imagine another almost 6 years under that calamity. But this time, what are we saying as Liberia? But this time, someone will finish running away from the country now. They thought we in Guinea or we in Sierra Leone, in there. But this time we in Sierra Leone, we're making life.
Oh yes, Guinea. You want to go Guinea, brother? Go sit on there. I think you're going to be already be in the country. I mean, imagine such a thing. And someone said we shouldn't talk about an EPS. Listen. Dealing with the EPS is the EPS a security institution. We are careful how we deal with security matters, but we cannot use that as a reliance as to why people will corrupt the state, because Baka, that's corruption to the highest level. So imagine 27 million. So how the money was done as per the GSE report when the audit was being conducted, Baka. They don't find anything in the check. They don't find anything in the voucher. They don't find anything in the financial agreement. So the gentleman agreement, what the president mentioned, that the gentleman agreement pro max, that what the guys are practicing. So you want to say at the EPS director called Central Bank Governor Aloysius Talu and say, Mr. Talu, we need some appropriation, and maybe this. Imagine the man spending about 17 million just for intelligence. What intelligence EPO getting in the country for the last 6 years? 17 million United States dollars for intelligence.
I tell you, Liberia, this country.
We are building thieves.
And there's a time, there's a wake-up corner for the president. Mr. President, let action be, don't just sit there, don't just relax.
No, the president is watching, right? what is happening in Buckeye when the report is out? I believe that report is before the decks of the Public Accounts and Expenditure Committee already. Now, like we said on yesterday, the president now is watching. This morning, I'm told the president will be at his executive mansion office, and he will slide
The window.
the window and be looking through and watching the Capitol building. The president will be right at our executive mansion, from the executive mansion and looking through the Capitol building and listening to the conversation on the audit report or the different hearings of the public accounts and expenditure. It will be on those reports and what the legislature will do in terms of informing the executive on steps to be taken, will guarantee the president's commitment to the legislature as well. Now, the president said he wants to run an open government. Now, an open government, Baka, what it means is that the three branches of government will have to check and balance and also promote each other in terms of the different ways they tailor the conversation in the best interest of the people. So if that will be the conversation, Baka, the president now has directed the GSC. The GSC is working along with the House's Committee on Public Accounts and Expenditure. And after that conversation, today I'm told that hearing is supposed to kickstart. And the Manifesto Corporation is the first institution on the spotlight.
Yeah.
So followed by Public Works as well. And so the president is looking. The president is saying we want to build roads in this country. We have already initiated a discussion. Steps have been taken. I committed myself that in the first 100 days, no car will be stuck in the mud. And that was been achieved. The 100 days are already elapsed. The president said, for 100 days, no car will be stuck in the mud, so that for 400 they already finished. Anything beyond that, I want a different conversation with all the half. So if that's the conversation we're moving on, the president has said, I have a public works minister who is very robust as well, as we have seen in the recent days, who has been very instrumental in showing that government fast track its promises to the Liberian people in terms of road conditioning, has already begun the job on grounds. The lawmaker has said, oh no, you're giving contract out without passing through, the legislative, consideration, legislative reforms, and a whole lot of stuff and things. And fine, that's what the law says. Now the public works minister have been caught. He said, okay, fine. We already having this discussion. 22 million in the pipeline. We want to ensure road connectivity in this country, especially connecting major corridors. But again, since you guys said that we did not pass through the rightful procedure, we apologize. But so far, only 8 million out of the 22 million has been disbursed because we cannot give the contractors all of the money while the job has not been completed. That was a conversation. So President Baka and I will be looking this morning to see, since my government has already committed itself, Hamza has already committed itself to road connectivity in this country. Now the House's Committee called the Public Works to come and answer to reports from the GSC on the workings of the Public Works. Now, so particularly you have the former Public Works Minister, Ruth Coker Collins. If there is a need be that we will wake up the conversation of the former Public Works Minister to come and answer to us or take the witness and provide her own account on the finances of the ministry at the time when she was minister will be done. Then afterwards, we inform the executive on the step to be taken. How we wish that after that conversation, the Senate will communicate to the president on steps to be taken that are in the interest of the ministry workings as well. And it will be on that conversation. Anything on the contrary, will inform the people's decision. Will inform Liberians' decision. And will inform the decision of the government, because the government is the people. So we inform the government decision now on whether or not we should go about this thing the way we want to do it. So we're watching the 55th legislature. Now the EPS report has come out. We know that the MCC report, that of which today we're going to be listening to as well. What the report the MCC has said, what the report of the Corporation has said over the years. Perhaps, who knows, that perhaps the 27 million for EP or JB or a drop in the ocean to the conversation. Maybe the MCC carries more than what
we're talking about. When a report from the MCC come out,
imagine just EPS. EPS one are responsible to clean the city. EPS not responsible to ensure that the city ordinance is in place. EPS not responsible to manage the local government across the city of Monrovia. No. EPS are just managing just the president. but I'm saying was able to spend 27 million. What about public works are building roads in the country? What about public works that should be building roads in this country?
That's what they started with the public works.
That's what I'm asking now. So just connect the lines there.
Mhm.
If you have the EPS responsible, so because EPS like you want to protecting Buckeye and that of the vice president.
Yeah.
You know, two individuals. Only two persons in the country you protecting. You spend 27 million to protect two individuals. So if we to do our mathematics and say for every two individuals in Liberia, 27 million we can spend to protect them. We get 5.2 million people.
Wow.
But I know what it means.
27 million to protect just two persons.
To protect two persons. So when we to provide protection for the 5.2 million people divided by 2 times 27 million. I think we just said the question. But we gotta be serious. Who spent 27 million to protect two persons in this country?
Yeah. EBS. The problem was the World Party t-shirts.
Oh yes.
And were passing all around the former president and showing their loyalty. They were EPS officers wearing party t-shirts.
Maybe I took it on use the printed t-shirt.
Oh, so all I want about the 2 million, the missing the 27 million.
Or maybe when they call a minute before they also go justify and the minute say
We print the t-shirt.
the teacher also the minute wear uniform.
The berets.
So why this is about so kind of way? Then they manage about that pay.
Yeah.
Then they put it by the station account.
No.
Then
Somebody sitting there eating
they
it
eat the money
quietly.
so the man kind of way put it sorry
You eat it.
and that money account for $188,000.
Wow.
$188,000.
So who can we blame? Is it the operation man or the head?
Brother, that the finance officer, the head now. But my man, all of that will be done in consultation with the head.
Wow.
When it comes to finances,
100 so much. Is that about 300?
$188,000.
Jeff cutting salary. Cutting salary.
So I mean,
when you're not going to work today,
kind of
they
work.
call $50.
When you sleep into work,
Yeah.
they call
They call your money.
So other funds were being was being checked. So how government works that is, for instance, the CSA. Because, like, for instance, if you're a government employee, now the law says that after, I think if you miss about 3 working days, you'll be issued a warning, and 4 or so your salary will be deducted. So if that salary has been deducted, it's been remitted in government account. That's why government has consolidated account. That money is being remitted in government account. Because now your money now, the government is supposed to pay you. You know what that means? If you're making $500 for 30 days, government it means that 500 divided by 30 days is what government is supposed to pay you.
Yeah.
So assuming that you make $5 per day, right, or $10 per day times the 30 days, $300, right? So if it's like you're making about $10. So let's assume you make $10 per day. Then the 30 days is supposed to be $300. Then you work for 15 days or 16 days. So literally the 16 days you work for is supposed to be 160. So the balance 120 is supposed to go back in government account because you work for these days. You work for those days, Buckeye. So that 120 is supposed to go back to government account. Government will decide on what to do with the money. So what the report is saying that money is supposed to go back to government. The money was diverting it to for their personal use. So the finance officer there in that report, who when he was being contacted, said he's not ready to talk yet. Says that there's an app. The majors snap when one of the mobile money. The majors will we got to make a signatory to the account, make a signatory to the account. And you know what that means if you're a signatory to an account. So like that, the majors will withdraw using that app. And just withdraw. I mean ATM around too now. Imagine government institution can't get ATM card. In the pocket of one individual. We gotta be serious. We really need to be serious in this country. So whooping 27 million federal Liberians are being mismanaged in this country. by just one security. Meaning what I think from this conversation, right, two things. We start to go on the CDL. Some of them Buckeye, we're interested to know that $27 million. That's not that for me. For me, that's not the underlying factor on as we have this conversation. But what baffles me a lot is that this is for a single security institution that was protecting just two individuals. Single security institution protecting two individuals were able to spend 27 million in the space of 3 or 4 years. Then a lot of you will say, okay, fine, this money is small. Let's have a conversation. It's small. Security protection around the world for presidents is small. But that money can only be guaranteed, or we can only have a conversation to say, yeah, it's small. If a country, for instance, in sub-Sahara, or a country where terrorism is frequent, or a country where the opposition is at war with the president, like what is happening in Kenya, for instance, like that, you will know that President William Ruto needs maximum protection. Already there are continuous protestation, right, against the regime of President William Ruto. So like that, you will say the president will need to spend more. But during George Weah time, aside from the June 7 protests, the June 7 protests that were as peaceful as you want to think about it.
Maybe they used 10 million on the June 7 protests to protect
to protect George Weah out to yours.
Yeah,
June 7.
Yeah, they protect the man. 10 million were used on June 7 protests. So folks, we're taking some calls this morning on the phone line. You can now place in your calls, so we stay having our guests right at 9 o'clock. Okay, so we'll now take some calls on 0778 665 699, 0778 665 699, or 0880 561 644, 0880 561 644. Keep your calls coming in and be a part of the conversation this morning. Let's take our first caller. Good morning, welcome.
Morning, man.
Yeah, your name is joining us from. Welcome. You are live with us.
Yeah, I'm Bobby Boy calling from Johnson here.
Welcome, Bobby.
Thank you for the program of discussion. You see, I want to know something. When the MCC report come here?
Very soon.
Beginning today, they will start hearing.
They started hearing today.
Tomorrow, you listen to us.
Yeah. What? So, in your own manner, brother, they agree. JMB not part two. That one I know party below them move. You know, the party CNC, that party one side, right?
Yeah.
Let's speak the reality. In your own man, that yellow machine, brother. That one enough for nobody, right? It's for the government, for the people. Anybody, people?
Yeah.
Thank you. The people will benefit. That 27 million, my man. That was two individuals. About the floor entity, about the floor ministry agency.
Brother.
You know what I want them to do? I don't want them to expose them. Just like that. And they exposing, imagine living on Tondo. As you expose, you punish. You expose, you punish. Then once you turn to now, whatever kind of tell now. All
right. Thank you so much for calling in 077 8665 699, 0778 665 699, or 0880 561 644. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Yeah, your name is joining us from.
I'm Eric. You can call him on the phobia.
Okay, Eric, welcome.
Yeah, first let me applaud the conversation this morning. First the men who go around the country, remember, keep someone saying that bro, I'm going to die. You have only a set of security center in PSC 22nd, wherever all security center. So you got your thought, your stereo.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. So the women line open also. The women can call on 0776 549122 for women only. 0776 549122. The men can call on 0778 665 699. 0778 665 699 for the men. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Yeah.
Good morning to Harry.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me applaud you guys for this. bring a discussion in the morning and also provide good knowledge for the Liberian people. Well, my name is Brother Momoni Obi Sakama. I'm to join you guys from Painesville. Well, Bogart and that of Harwich. On the 2005, George Williams began for the teaching. We know us on a platform. And people know understood. They know actually knew this man. But today, 2017, he was still in high gear and he let him. They gave him the higher position in the land and he took it. And the wish that when people voted him for, it was because of the way Ebola Ellen Johnson said he runs the country. It's for the order of the day. We know us for anything. We all the higher do not support that thing. So we felt we could do better for just people in this country. But only to understand that everything in the cookie jar. There was no platform. We don't even know what proper thinking from our name proper. Now they were pro crook. But we are saying today, the dynamic president who he's not there to play football, he's not there to run after 1,000 women. He's not there to live the best of life. He's just satisfied with his late, simple life in living. We are telling him to learn, live, nothing undone.
Okay.
Those kind that will be investigated, they will be persecuted, and put in jail no more years.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take other people on the line. Let's go to the women line. Oh, sorry. We just messed up that call on the women line. You can still call on 0778 for the men, 0778 665 699. 0778 665 699. The women can call on 077 654 9122. Yeah, 0776 654 9122. Let's take this caller here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What?
Welcome.
Yeah, Mark, we're calling from DC4.
Okay.
The people say the country was just for them, that even that wants to benefit. Then they struggle, they also suffer, then they turn around and start paying people depending on them money. All that money were paying past card and it. They were paying people with 1 million debt. The moment a year behind they can. And I want to tell you, I'm begging you. When the defender they can anybody that can show won't make a corner show from this business. I don't call him. You can never say President Baka. You can say Mr. Baka. He won't call Baka President Baka. He won't call him Mr. Baka. He please get to figure out and go there like area. I want to president say I want to stay as personal like you. Let it go on our side and do that thing there. You go to the Moho. And then you put in the Moho. I say that Onika. You so happy people. That's what people. Some people are to buy 3,000. Go get there a war, you go there, penny when you open pay for market, you go look at it. And if you take that value money that penny, when it's winning, there's no way I can say that. Yeah, they hold it. The people now they rake, ain't no one clean, yeah. Yeah, you can rake it, yeah. All the sin, so much rock and roll. That's why they do upon people they rake the error. So what I'm on rake there too.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, man, for calling in. Let's take this other person here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name is joining us from. Welcome.
Thomas Bauer, and I call you from Margibi.
Thomas, welcome. You are live with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. These people looted the country, and the Bible says, no sin goes unpunished. So, as the LACC, is conducting, their investigation, if they are found guilty, let it be, prosecuted and sent to jail. Now, even I suggest that they should carry them to Grand Judah, because if they carry them to South Beach, they'll be carrying Jolorette to them, and other stuff. So they should take them to Grand Judah, where somebody will pay $500 just to go see a relative. If you spend that money one time, you'll not be going there again. So thank you.
Thank you. From Grand, that's Maggie County. We cross over 0778 665 699 080 644. We still anticipating your calls. Keep them coming in. We'll put you through 0778 665 699 or 080 644 are the lines that you can call, and you will be live with us this morning. We talk about the report coming in from the Executive Protection Services, that's the EPS, and the amount, the whipping amount that was mismanaged, that was spent in thin air. They'll take somebody here. Good morning.
Morning, Baga.
Welcome. Your name, where joining us from?
And it's Ali Padikoma, my picking family. I call him around the power Joshua.
Okay, welcome, Ali.
Yeah, let me tell you, thank you for the conversation, and also thank to the president, because you know the state rule of the CDC government, we know within ourselves that they really loot the country. And then when we're passing around, we'll have voted for the government, we put our life on the land for the government, and they're provoking your government will not do no only like you're there, your only thing, your seller, everything going down, your asset recovery thing apply. So for all to be here in the kind of result, some of us we are happy and we encouraging the papi. You will not give up because like some of like meeting or whatever, because the thing we saw in the country was happening. Like people who will not get no money, we saw less than no time they got money, people who will not get so no time they got horses. I wanted to meet this some of whatever, and we commend him when you do the right thing, we commend him. When you do the wrong thing, we praise that. I want to meet him, I like to listen to your show. You don't let other people who stay running propaganda, talking all kinds of negative things, and they see the wrong thing, they see the right thing, they will not discuss it. They only there to discuss party every day. Every day that will happen in this promotion. I thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, my brother, and be a part of the conversation. We're still taking your calls. 0778 685 699. Let's take another person here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just go to the receiver in the background, please.
Yeah, thank you for initiating this discussion. I am Sir Joseph Numa calling from SDA community. It is important that Liberia, we need to know that the country belongs to every one of us. For few people to sit down and misuse the resources of the nation is very bad. How two persons will use 27 million or 27,000 just for security for the president, where we are under normal condition. You see? But as the report is coming up, we really want Spoon Radio to consistently follow. Some of us will be following and suggesting. Because whatever be the case, the nation belongs to everyone. And then the other thing I want to notice is about this yellow machine. I agree the protocol do not follow. But there are reasons. The House of Representatives and Senators, we are going to hold them accountable to see how they will forward this development of this nation. Because they are the problem of this nation. Everyone do not know. And we that went to school as well going to follow them to see that if every one of them going together to debate the development of this country, come 2029, all of them will move from there. Take it from me. We'll move from county to county, sensitizing our people, telling them what they are doing. That is not, it doesn't make sense. So let them know that we give them the power, they should do the right thing.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. We give them the power. They should do the right thing. That's all we are calling for. 0778 665 699. We can take some more calls on the line. Let's take this person. Your name, where joining us from? Welcome.
Yeah, Stephen Brown calling from Florida. What's up, brother?
I'm doing pretty well.
Right, you know what I laugh?
No.
The cost of the yellow machine, you know, 80 million.
Yeah.
That's what the post said, right? So let's assume if we audit, I found that ministry and corporate wealth. Because that's 27, brother, you get 80 million from there. Let's be honest now. I mean, like, people just share with all the citizens benefiting, right? So what's all the 80 million now? Somebody can be paid for everybody to benefit. Is it wrong? That's the logic now. Because trust me, let's see that wash that MCC, you know, we put are coming on.
I'm telling you.
Plus that 27 we compress it, you'll be almost 60, brother. And yeah, you'll be almost 60 or 50. Then we need, I don't how much. I don't tell them more to be eating. And I tell you, you get it on public way alone. And I will just be few people that share that money with all the citizens benefiting. Then something that coming. And the entire citizens will benefit that law because they say, you're not part of PCC, you're not part of RA, I funny thing what are they talking? Don't want it, they may not share already, a part of PCC. Yeah, but many things like it, fair. And then we just want to country. No law because nothing everybody run our own show.
Okay. Thank you for calling in. 0778665699. Let's take some of the call there. We'll come back. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is I'm calling from Canada.
Okay, welcome.
My brother, I think for me, I'm happy. I think yesterday I was telling you that they already wanted to see. Because we told the people who were campaigning, we told our people that everything that these people are doing will make sure that any leader that get there, the person that we're campaigning for, is about our president Parker will make sure that he prosecute these people. And that's what we want to see. Then on the president dead and the house are received. Let's see, let's prosecute the people. Then next time, anyone that you get there, you take down how to use our resources. But I listened to Spoon Talk last night, some of the physicians, Guy Jackson, and Mr. Doe said, and if I detect your thing, there will be a problem, there will be war, there will be all out things. I said, these people
That's a
do
makeup
nothing.
tactics. The scary tactics.
That's scary tactics on.
Yeah, they can do nothing, my brother. Then you know what
nobody more government.
But we are above the law.
Nobody can do anything. They see that in the more than the citizen.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah. But the thing that they did, they know that most of the citizens sitting there, I think yesterday I on your shoe, our food. Up to nothing, I'm going to stay buying places, all other things. You know how they get the money? They were not having money before.
Yeah.
And as I learned, that Sinabuno is doing business for President Weah. Everywhere that you buy and all those things for both of them.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll take a few more calls. 0778665699. Are the lines that you can call. Let's take this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Boka.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Let me say good morning to your many listeners and good morning to Harris. My name is Joe Kamo. I joined you this morning from around the Rabo International Airport, precisely Lower Margibi County.
Joe, welcome. You are live with us.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Boka. And let me appreciate you for the talking point. You know, some of us we have been yearning for this particular GSD report. It is very important that people who have served this country will be able to account for some of the area they serve in. But you cannot have people who squander people money at the detriment of people who giving services to the society. So as for some of us, we welcome the GSC report and we are calling on President Boka to see how best to implement the particular report. Because if for any reason, if the report is not being implemented, you still have folks parading the corridor of our political space at the expense of threatening our peace. So if we cannot put some of these things into place, we see this country going down the drain. So we are calling on President Boka to see how best to adhere to the particular GSC report so that some of those corrupt officials can be prosecuted.
Thank you for calling in. We take like 5 more calls. Then we'll bring our guest 0778665699. Let's take the person. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, boy.
Oh, your call just dropped like that, my brother. The women can call. The women, your line still open. 0776-549122. For the ladies, 0776-549122. But I take this person. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Wara. This is Ricardo President.
Okay.
So you see, it is time that we set our country on the rightful track. Understand? So I welcome the report of the GSC and ask President Boka to take serious action against the corrupt leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go back to the female line and take this caller here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Your name is joining us from?
My name is Rina Singehine. I'm calling from the
All right, welcome.
First, I want to say thank you for the show and the topic on the discussion. But I want everybody to know that the persecution that we are trying to implement, it starts from the house. It should start from the house. The same people that are making the laws and the same people that are breaking the laws and the same people that should be punished. If we can punish them, they will not change. They're looking for other people outside to punish. No, we need to change those people. Those people are the problem. They are the problem in this country because the president one cannot do everything. He cannot make everything right this one. You need to have more than 3 persons there that want to be straight. But those people are not straight. They are the ones of the problem. The Liberian people should stand up and start removing those people who go to the election. But let's help remove those people and find people that are qualified and people that are more sincere.
Okay.
We have sincere people in this country. Once people are punished for the things they do, the people will start being straight. People can be straight. Liberian people can be straight. They just don't want to be straight because they are not being punished for what they're doing.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, let's take another female on this line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Justina. I'm recording for the Bibles.
Justina, welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much for your topic. Well, Monday was a very sad day for me. Not on your station or someone on station.
What happened?
Someone went and told something about Noah in KC. I tried calling for no way. The main disability change your factor. That's why you can go in the market to go buy. I felt so sorry. But yesterday I enjoyed Noah. Noah is dressing and dressing very well. I enjoy it. So you radical, you know what become you eat from there? But I tell Noah sorry. And the EPS, yeah, the ordinary EPS that were in the ring. When the president crack on me that get that they used to go there, they will join the ring. They won't feed it. Choco Row will enjoy. You see how they go wicked? How they go wicked? They a whole lot of horses and the ordinary people. I think we have there. They used to come to our shop to come credit.
Imagine EPS crediting then the bosses eating. The bosses eating almost $20 million.
Yes, credit is still putting the spaghetti. If they hear me, someone know.
Yeah, so you can expose the people to ESL too, man.
So I'm exposing the but we get the thing. So maybe they're talking someone that I'm not feedback. Yeah, like go and testify.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you? Yes.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much. The ghost therapy say we used to carry from Justina spaghetti.
Your Bobby managing to the same.
Yeah, Bobby managing spaghetti. Good morning, welcome.
Harris, how you doing?
I'm great.
Oh, doing pretty well.
Thank you, Boka. So this is Pastor Davis from District 6. So we got no history of being destructive. And we will never. How can George Weah even burn down the airport that he had made more value?
My man, your lawmaker issuing threatening statements say y'all burn down the airport and say how would George Weah do it when y'all see
George Weah doesn't have a record on that. I don't even know why we're taking people's statements.
No. Now you see, this is what I can annoy some of us. You will not be a permanent citizen in this country that you have a followers and make statement. And your style of a political party. They say why we should hold people by that statement. It is not okay. So I come in. So now, for instance, when the lack of let's take for instance the lack of how do you call him Foucault or somebody within the Unity Party like Samuel Tuer, not Samuel or Amos Tuer, make a statement, you will say they are just mere individual.
But the current president said he doesn't win the election, it will be the end of the law.
No.
How did that destroy the country?
No, I really want you to go back to that list.
I just reminding you that
when the
people are
current president,
in the country.
when the current president said when you win, it will be
When?
the Bureau.
Yeah, now I
He
want
said it during the
It
campaign.
was
I
the propaganda. I'm saying
I
it was the
bet-
propaganda of your party that misinterpreted
I
that
bet
statement.
no, I can't
My
mean,
man, all
I
of us
bet
follow that
you,
thing.
I bet you, Pascal, I bet you to bring me a recording of the president saying that if the president said exactly what you are saying, I will do anything that you feel you want me to do.
No, I don't want anything from you, G.
But my man,
You guys don't just let people to provide
no, it's
information.
not about information.
No,
Listen, Pascal.
I don't speak the way you want me to speak.
No,
It wouldn't
it's
work with me. So
it's about you
I always give my
providing.
independent opinion.
It's about you providing
I
the
know-
rightful information. Mis and disinformation has affected all hugely in this country,
So,
and there will
I'm
not be
saying
a
to
space for
you-
it. So listen now.
I'm saying
Let
to
me just
you-
let me just connect you so you continue, Pascal. The current president at the time during the campaign, he said that if the elections will go on, and if any sign of cheating in the elections, because people want to continue against the will of the people, that was how the president connected.
Have anybody cheated in elections in the
My
country?
man,
For the
that's
last
that question.
5
So if you
elections
ask
we
me,
have
the
had?
election of 1927. So if you ask me, no one cheating like
I said in the last 3 elections we have had, anybody cheated?
your CDC boycotted an election in this country because you said the cheated in 2011. They asking me if anybody
Did
cheated
we
election.
fight? So you see,
My man, what you
so
talking about,
okay.
Pascal? About
Yeah,
conclude.
conclude.
Let me make my point, remember.
conclude,
You
bro.
want come here, you come
Man,
here.
boy,
Man,
no way
conclude,
you talk to you, but I'm saying,
You
Pascal.
want
Go
come here,
ahead,
you
my
come
man.
here. Let me make my point.
Conclude.
So, 10 person calling radio station, they go in your way.
My
Yeah,
man,
one man,
talk about.
you're not one day.
My man, go
Yeah.
ahead. Make your point.
So, we doesn't have a record. We will not destroy anything that we've contributed to build it. I think George Weah is a developmental president. He got the record. He set the history. Divisions are organized group of people. If we ever intended to be violent, we could have done that during the election when we felt that the election wasn't too professional. But we let it go because of peace.
Okay.
And so people are making statements here. And one thing that is very sure is that Georgia still remains a formidable force. And there are people who think that Georgia doesn't have interest. That is not true. Even though I'm aware that you guys will go over 80 years.
We're taking your statement serious.
We're not taking your statement
You cannot
serious
use
because now you don't want to talk about
So we're
it.
taking
So
your statement serious.
we're taking it serious.
If I ain't run for 80 years.
Look at that guy.
Let's take another person on this line. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Boga, and good morning, brother and sister with you.
Yeah, welcome.
All right, my name is Josiah Small for me from Congo Peace Island. I come call 540. You know, Boga, when I listen to your name, Pascal, no, Pascal is good in the thing, right? Y'all may ask you say, is there any issues? People say they cheated them. But you forget to know that 2005, around the election, the Bongo election, they say they cheated them. 2011, the Bongo, they said, we're not going around, they cheated them. So Pascal realized that they have been lying to the party opponent to them. That there was no issue about it. They told them you never want to cheat the CDC. You see, thank you, Pascal, for just telling all the truth. But they have been lying to the party opponent. No issue about cheat the CDC in election. Further to the issue, when someone come out and say we're going airport, a permanent person for your party, a stars of the party, a lawmaker, then you say don't take it serious.
Yeah.
So why was Ali was invited to the police president we are regime when he made statement?
Yeah.
Why was the president do what he invited when he said I don't want rest? See the president speaking. Why was he invited? Say we should not take statement serious. You see, Pastor doing it, and I said it's so smart. But no, thank you. Your project make to somebody here. They miss information you got today. If a prominent person come and say, well, it's a remark.
Yeah.
You're a person that got followers. People follow you. You got all the people. Now when you speak, they believe in what you say. These things should stop. No, we can have our disagreement, my brother Boakai. But for someone to say, go for Boakai, go do the one. you will never see me doing it. Because at the end of the day, peace we need. I will still see brother as my brother. He will still see me as his brother. We smoke the people. We move forward, despite our differences.
Sure.
That's what we ought to fight for.
Yeah.
But when someone says we will bring Liberia, brother, you and I, for some of us, our future have been done with race and what future. But our late case now we're getting now. You must should be thinking, what can we do to improve our life, to improve our children's life, so that it can form foundation? That's what we all should be saying. But no leader, only because of sick, because of who has the doctrine. You see, we'll bring country, we'll bring this one. But we got no place for those things. Don't worry, it doesn't have seat in our society.
All right.
We should disabuse the man of people that say nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let me take another person here. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Your name is joining us from?
My name is Emmanuel Johnson, and I'm joining you from the Dubo Road Belt. Thank you for the thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for the program. I enjoy this program. But you see what happened? Yeah, I enjoy this program, and I'm hearing some of the guys talking because they are talking out of frustration. So don't mind them. Oh, you see this country? This country need prayers, though, because well, illiteracy here is too high. Illiteracy is the one that's killing this country here. Nothing else. I mean, take it to the bank. Illiteracy, because if you are educated, nobody will tell you something. Say, "Come, let's do this," and you will follow that person because you will read between the lines.
Yeah.
Right? Look, I don't read between the lines. Anything they tell them because they are not educated. Even though one that going to school say they can't even really compose. So anything somebody say to them, they will just take it and damage this country. I heard the other day from Pilate in the hall that hall is supposed to be audited. These guys were not migrating, they would be migrating the city, going from place to place. Went from place to place and made behaving. Either they are not Liberian, either they're coming from another planet. And then they don't know about gun business. Some of us were soaking it there, were owing the bazooka and the Beretta and the AK-47. So now they don't know about gun. So they shouldn't just be putting fear in the country and making threatening remarks. Because when anything happens, you know, nobody, no guy can go from house to house and burn people's houses. So they should just keep quiet and just pray to God so that Joseph Boakai President Boakai will carry this country forward.
Okay.
Go in the southeast and see how the road being fixed. They said that even rural here doing nothing and just masquerading the city and misbehaving because the people taking it from them. That's why. Okay. The people taking it from them say that when you got no police and something, you do anything they carry to the law. And you go prove it. You talk anything they carry to the law, you go prove it because they tell it to other people. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity this morning. I'm too vexed this morning for the way the guy can be here.
Okay. Thank you so much for at least expressing yourself this morning. That's what the platform is created for. Express your mind, your opinions, and we respect you for the fact that we all are doing it civilly. Yeah. We just don't need to disrespect each other. Once it is civil, you are given the platform to do so. We are not stopping anybody from calling in. We are not stopping anybody from participating. We can take the 3 more calls. Let's take this person. Pakombo, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning to Liberian people. Good morning to everybody. The puppet down my suit. The speaker down desperate. Here, Master got the engine. We got the engine block.
Yeah.
My brother, old man Boakai, one little legacy. The corruption, the criminal activity is too much well educated in Nigeria here. The country will tire. Me, I'm 65 now. I don't got no more. I'm not getting more than 30 years. You know. So our children they must be prepared. Those guys must be other things. And anybody during their time, you need to catch people, don't get statement, they die, you say against the government. No. Our money should be given anybody that continue saying they will bring Liberia. My brother, they are old general who all know how to die. Or we love some all love Liberia, we serve the data our better than that, our sister than that. Then we are better than that. Nobody die for him. They're from Ghana. They are Ghana crew. No crew that die here. So we love Liberia.
Okay.
I cannot agree. They are on a Larry and we say they win Liberia. But better, our money what is chapter and use it. This is they pay for. And they did not pay for. They were ordered them. And the Barker failed to do it. We will ask Barker to prosecute. We were saying to court and prosecute him.
Okay, thank you so much, Pagomo. We Pagomo could prosecute the president. The man said we'll take you to court. But you know, when it comes to statement, there are a lot of other statements being put out by some of the folks from CDC. Yesterday, the leg of Gray Akaros, he took up to his Facebook page and said this: take the AFL to the land borders because we will escort him and receive him by road. We are preparing to march behind his convoy everywhere he goes. The soldiers are mobilizing for such peaceful constitutional movement and assemble rights. You know, some of these things they are just creating that scare title you want to be bringing. Let's take this person as our last follow.
I mean, I know your issue, right? I mean, I see well. I want you see all that now, you know, all favor people in the country get it mad. As soon as they spark up, oh, they can give it. But they can stay when you think your money can save you. Well, you see, 1 7-year-old people will take all your money when they make you oil. I mean, I reality when the show start, brother, you can see me on here. Oh, they can give it. I mean, wait, you are not here? Which are what you saw? I mean, you can all that time what you see them when they make it when the show start, bro. You can't see that.
Okay.
So no matter all that time what they making.
All right, thank you. This is this still want. I know she want to express herself, so let me call the last. Good morning, Justina.
Yeah, money. The great level I go for the Ebola. Yeah, they start when they see. When they walk, they see that was like the get that job, yeah.
They put pay spaghetti money.
They put not pay spaghetti money. Oh. Okay, so you know that's the beauty of the show. Every morning, we get 4 minutes past 9 o'clock, and we told you that at 9 o'clock we're going to be bringing in. You know, for a very long time here, our normal way to call each other, he can say BK, me I can say Max Mixer, but from I think Radio LRB, Radio LRB days, up until but it's good to have Mr. Pacquiao live with us this morning. He just got back in the country. And he's live with us this morning. We are about to talk wide range of issues, but beginning with his institution and some of the things that he's up to, and he's back. Some of the initiatives that he's been undertaking here in the country. You wonder where they have from? It's okay. Which one?
It's where before.
It's where before.
It's not this one.
Okay, yeah. So, let me say good morning and welcome.
to turn it over to the young folks to manage today, and it's doing exceptional.
Yeah.
Similarly, with this idea now of Restoring Hope International, I mean, we can easily connect to Justice Forum, understanding that his foundation establishment was on the basis to advocate for those whose rights have been violated in this country. But if we talk Restoring Hope International now, you want to give us the vision beyond this thing. I mean, at what point in time did you realize that the issue by this organization formation was very important? I mean, our existence.
Thank you. All right. Let me start off first of all. I think the whole idea about giving back to Liberia started in 2010. You may not know this. I had an organization before named Wales Liberia Connect. And that organization, we were into humanitarian service. And at the time, Ebola came to Liberia, hit us hard. And I was touched by how my people were dying in Liberia. I used that organization. What I did was to go in the city of Swansea and appeal for help to fight Ebola.
Okay.
And you won't believe it, because within a week, I was able to get 1 ton of assorted items.
Wow.
To fight Ebola. Now, I was asking the people of Swansea to help. I thought I was going to get a few boxes. I would just take a few pounds from my pocket and pay for it to come. But I was overwhelmed by the response I got from the people of Swansea. And so I have to, at the time, the current president was vice president. I have to reach to his office. I said, I beg for, for things to help us fight Ebola. But what I get now, I can't able to handle it because I'm able to send it.
Too plenty.
Yeah, they got to help. Yeah. So he was able to talk to his English friends there, who normally used to send him stuff through the containers. And then we had a space in that container. And he, in fact, have to pay for it. They came and collected it from Swansea. It's about 6 hours away, but they came, collected them, loaded them, and brought them to Liberia, and they were distributed. So that charitable quest, I decided to just continue. We ran the organization to 2016, and due to lack of funding now from the UK, things started going hard, very, very tough. So in fact, I brought some people that had never been to Africa. I brought them here. We did, because at that time we were actually focusing on increasing awareness raising on the prevention of sexually transmitted diseases. And we went to at least about 3 different villages where these white people, we did a theater aspect of it to send a message about not being reckless to have sex, or else you will get this, you'll get that also. So we did that for a couple of months, and then yes, we have to take a back seat because funding was difficult now to access. And then so later on I said, okay, but then I'm not just going to sit there and not to continue with this. Then I gave birth to Justice Forum Liberia.
Okay.
But then why Justice Forum Liberia was going on, as actually criticizing but constructively, I decided to continue with humanitarian aspect.
Okay.
So I will collect things. By December, I will be here. The teams will be here. I go to communities. Most of my communities I used to target was clinics, community clinics, especially the hearing impairment school in Jacobstown, Lower Johnsonville. Yeah, that deaf and dumb school, as they call themselves. I discovered them. Up to now, they are my friends. I'm sponsoring them until every birthday and thing, I buy clothes and things and give it to them. So since then, I still continue to do this every December, every July 26th, which is my birthday. I make sure I don't do the celebration that to call friend to eat, and I just buy things and share it around to less fortunate. So on and on, Justice Forum Liberia, as many people who are listening now can also.
I saw you donating to the police.
Yeah, I did. I donated twice to the police, reflective jackets.
Yeah,
during the days of what's his name?
Sako.
Gregory Coleman. Yeah, okay. Gregory Coleman. Yeah, and then even during the days of the predecessor.
Is that
Sudo? Yeah, he too. Yeah, I brought reflective jackets. That one absolutely out of my pocket, or 300 of them, and whistles as well have been donating. So yeah, and then I continued. Justice Forum came, and because I thought it was necessary that we champion the call for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. That was the main reason Justice Forum Liberia was funded. After I visited The Hague twice to witness Charles Taylor trial, and I saw how the trial was going on, even though Liberian, even people actually were with him, were giving testimonies against him. Also, listen to the cross-examination, even by own lawyers and thing. To me, from my calculation, tells me that 75% of the trial questions were based on Liberia.
Okay.
Even though he was accused for war in Sierra
Sierra
Leone.
Leone.
So, you know, I thought to myself that I don't think it was necessary for Charles Taylor alone to face this. Many people are in the background. Let them also face it. So that's how Justice Forum came about, and I started investing into aid. Sometimes I will come here for 2-3 days just to have protests, to present petitions and go back. So yeah, on and on. And today, 2023, early 2023, I decided that since I have mentors with me, a lot of young people who are enthusiastic, I don't think I should continue, you know, just being leader. I've already nurtured them well. I've already mentored them well. I asked them, what can you take the leadership of this position and continue with it? You guys are all young and young. So they agreed, and myself, I stood down and gave them I turned the organization over to them. But then still, I want to continue contributing for Liberia. So that's, now I sat down, I said, okay, I have a disability, and I know what I went through even before I had the opportunity to live from here. So I am thinking now about the next generation that will be coming up with disability. The current generation that facing problems, they have disabilities as well. Government is not doing much. From one government to another, they're not doing much. I think that, you know, I thought to myself that I think I need to put something together so that I can continue to help. So that's how Restoring Hope Foundation Liberia, because I feel my thought is that a lot of them have lost their hope, but I want the organization to come in to restore their hope. How? We want to come in to make sure that we raise money, we pay school fees, give scholarship, especially to disabled children that their parents are sitting down home, because normally in the context of Africa as a whole, if you have a disability, or they say that you are just a parasite, you'll never become the breadwinner for your family. So, but examples are there as well, because many of our people continue to beg to live. So we want to come in now to say, well, you know what? We want to go from town to town, village to village, find that disabled child that is still sitting at home, ask the parent, engage with them, and we want to start sending them to school as well. When you reach a certain level, that even if you can't go to university, we can try hard, saying you can able to sit down, you can connect wires, you can repair, radios and things. We will send you to vocational training institution. You go build your skills and you know your community, and then you can even become an employer. Well. Yeah, and things. So this is it. And then we are also looking about women and children empowerment. There are a lot of them that are coming from difficult backgrounds. That right after school, high school, they will try hard. If they don't drop in 9th, 12th grade or 7th grade, they will after high school nowhere else to continue. So we want to also create the avenue wherein we can sponsor vocational training level for them. Somebody want to go learn how to plait hair, how to even become a barber also. Yes. Somebody, a woman wants to actually want to become a plumber. It's not anything big. You go to vocational training, but a lot of them want to do it, but they don't have the money. So this is the whole concept about Restoring Hope Foundation Liberia. The hope that has been dashed by some of them, I will not make it because society is telling me that I will not make it. We want to come in to say, you can make it. We want to restore your hope.
Yeah, it's a huge tax, and it comes with finance, come with a lot of challenges, most especially in a country like Liberia. It's not like the Western world where you see people will be coming in to assist you, and people will have more interest this is just on on a shoulder yet of one person, which is you. Are you seeking support? Are you calling on other institutions, other individuals to come in? Because this is not just about you. This is about our society. This is about changing the minds and attitude of other people, changing their career. Because once they attend institutions, they will try to develop themselves and become a breadwinner for their family. This is a huge tax.
It is.
Are you thinking about getting other people on board?
Yes, PK, yes, we are thinking. In fact, partnership, we are going to open to partnership. We already started while I was in the UK. My former university is already on board. There's an organization that donates, materials, books, academic books to organizations. In fact, as I speak to you, I have 2,000 books already coming to Liberia. They are all academic books for colleges and university, technical colleges and things. So when they come, we'll do. So we have in the UK, we have already started, engaging partnership, because partnership with NGO, it works well. Yeah. And then also here in Liberia, we will also, open ourselves to partnership. That's why even this launch here, we have invited, a lot of organizations as well, including UNICEF Liberia as well. We invited them to come and grace the occasion. So we will definitely, with our funding, of course, we find it difficult. Yes, you are right. For now, it is solely being done even with Justice Forum Liberia. Then from my own pocket, from my 40 hours a week that I put in to get my few couple of pounds or so, I put it into charity. Yeah, but hopefully we will get the ball rolling, and then we'll also continue with it. But one of the main sources that funding will be coming from, I'm into writing. So just last night, the president, myself, and the education minister, we had up to 15 minutes talk about the launch, about my contribution that I have decided to get into. So I will be donating my work, the books I'm writing. I will be donating it to the charity through the Ministry of Education. All we are pushing for now is for the Ministry of Education to inside these books into the curriculum as prescribed text, and then wherein, especially for government school, the Ministry of Education will tell them that every child will have to have copy of the book. That will be part of the curriculum. So the money that will be raised from there, I don't want the money to go into my personal pocket for my family to eat, myself to eat. So every proceed that will be raised from these books, they will go in the bank account of the charity. Then we'll be using this money. So even at that, if we even applying for funding, whether from UC or so, to carry on certain project, and it is a match funding, we get 10,000 and we're looking for 25,000. Somebody can be happy. Yeah, someone has 7,000 or 8,000 or so. Yeah, instead of you saying, oh, we're looking for 25,000, but we got zero account. It's difficult. So my work would be one of the main sources of sponsoring this, making sure that we get money to do most of our projects.
It is such an ambitious, a very huge plan indeed. One that someone envisaged that in the next 5-10 years to come, if this, as per what you explained, and when there are efforts that applied towards this, will be very much welcoming for the children across Liberia. I'm thinking, as per prior to your decision, prior to you thinking on this vision, or some who say developing this vision, whether assessment been done across the country? I mean, whether assessment from you or from other organizations you want to use as a yardstick, as a reliance, as to this is the problem confronting. Because a lot of things we have observed is that at times we just use the conversation. For instance, I'll give you a practical example. Like, you want to go at perhaps everyone just say in every community you find ghettos and everything. That's the reality, though. But if someone's asking in terms of the statistics across the country, I mean, in terms of ghettos and things, we are lacking. So it is a bit challenge to make informed decision. So I'm asking as to whether you have carried on an assessment to understand maybe the various counties that are hit by children that suffer disabilities and they are out of school. Any different conversations have been carried out?
Well, yeah. In fact, that's one of the reasons. Like, I'll give you the synopsis of where I have started from and what the reasons that I've got to this stage as well. And I always try to put myself in the picture. First of all, like I said, one of the most one of the groups that would be at the top of our agenda is the persons with disabilities. So obviously, like I said, I am also from the same background, also in the same community, and I know what I went through. And I'm saying now that the next generation that will come up, I don't want them to go through what I went through. That's why I decided to do this. And so, in terms of us, let's say, when getting statistics, especially for a person with disability, I think even yesterday I went to the Ministry of Education. The person who was responsible for that, for inclusion. We had a discussion and saying the statistic what we see on the internet is she even told me that even higher than that in terms of persons with disability, children with disability who are just sitting home, not going to school and things, it's too high. We've done it, and because of personal experience as well, I think my own is the one that actually making me to do what I've decided to do. So my own story as well is a statistic by itself, because I've faced a lot of challenges while I was here growing up in Liberia and things. So this is the person with disability, children, girls, women from very disadvantaged background. I mean, we can look at it. I mean, we can even see it vividly. Every time you wake up, I wake up in the morning. Even I want to take a walk in the community, I will see it's 8 years old, carrying water around. I will see another 11 years old, not in school at the time they're supposed to be in school. Also, when you ask, they say, "Oh, my parents not get money and thing." So all of that, I mean, the statistics are actually visible, Harris. And so we are happy that God has given us the vision and giving us the opportunity and also the ability that we should venture into this, or we should continue with this. And that's my area of interest, just to give back. Yesterday, I mean, I wasn't giving back. I wasn't giving anything, but not because now I've strived on my own, educated myself, taking student loans to even educate myself and thing. That doesn't mean that, I mean, when reaching to the time now that at least I'm getting some, I'm getting some payback by virtue of my 40 hours a week I put into work, that I should eat everything on my own, that I suffered too much yesterday, so let me enjoy myself. No. I want to continue to give, and to give.
Tell us a bit about the books you're going to be turning over to the Ministry of Education. We're going to be working with the Ministry of Education. You want to tell the different books and the various grades you're going to be
used. And just to add up, just to let you, I just went through the books. They are all easy to read. Very, very easy to read. We get a bigger one here. Police officers are friends, not strangers. This book is just for me going through it. You can be from any class. They start teaching you this particular books. Those of you watching, this is it. Police officers are your friends, not strangers. And it's about police officer assisting students in their schools. And we talk about corruption. Corruption, my enemy now and forever. This is it. Like the previous one, it is also very easy.
Let me see that.
Yeah, because you talk about corruption.
I will expound on it.
The third one here is My Jealous Visitor. I think this one is about you.
This one actually is not a textbook.
It's just not. It's about you. Yeah, because your entire life.
And let me see. I love the title.
And I just flipped
the title of this book.
But the title is what I just told you.
His entire life. And this is, I want to be, this is just about helping you
ambition for the
Yeah,
children.
yeah,
Because each time you ask your child,
I want to be teacher.
Yeah,
I want to be up police officer. I want to be nice.
But they don't know how.
They don't
to go
know.
about
Yeah,
what
they don't know how to get to where they want to be.
That's it.
If you want to be a teacher, you want to be a police officer, any career that you want to be.
Okay.
There's a step that you can take. You can use this book to get at where you
gotta
want
get
to
him
be.
as brain ambassador for the book.
No, but just when you
I love that.
I love this. I love this. I love this point.
And let me just one by one. The police book. My thought about it was, in fact, when I put this book together, at the time, Madam Ellen just made a statement in which she said that education was a mess in Liberia, and that touched me. So in 2015, I decided to take student loans, and I went back to university. I read because I was also working. I have to do part time, so I did 2 years on part time on a postgraduate certificate in education. So while I was pursuing that, I gave myself a task that I would write a book before I graduate for at least elementary level of Liberia, Liberian school. So I decided to think as to what story should I write up for our children. But then I had a reflection way back that certain time came. Police and we the civilians, we never used to pull. Yeah.
But
it used to be hostile.
Even today, suppose to police.
It used to be hostile. And that time we used to say, when criminal is chasing you and he's ahead of you, they say you must run back to the criminal.
And Max, not to cut it off, even a little child, once we are grown up, the first thing, so you say, police come here, the next thing you see the child running.
Yeah. So I'm thinking now, look, there's a need to tell the true story about police and policing. Because by the moment my first son started school 3 years old, the first day he went to school, the next day when he came, he started telling me about 999 call, emergency call. He started telling me about policing and whatsoever. And on that side, children can be very, very small. All of the institutions will start to visit them. Sometimes the children, when they finish high school, they don't even get time to go to university. They join the service they want to serve their country and things. So I decided to tell story about police and policing in this book. So our children can know about policing that. Yeah, police, you know, even though people are saying this about police, but it's not the same. That's why maybe, in fact, that time I came, I met Patrick Sudu. We took pictures together. We took pictures together. This book, that was the first book. But let me tell you, this book, I fought. The Ministry of Education through the curriculum department, they actually reviewed the book and they would say it was good for our children. For this book now to be put in the school system, in the curriculum, I fought. I couldn't get my way through. I sat down with former education minister. I think there were 2 former education ministers, one on the almost on the Ellie and on the
George Weah.
Yeah. So it couldn't go through. In fact, for the book business, I left London when President Weah made the first visit to Paris of France. I left London to go and push this book. I gave copy of this book to President Weah. And I explained things to him. I said, my area is education. Wow. This is the first step. I need your help. Let this book go in the school system. What we discussed by the time we left, since then, I never heard from anybody up to present. So the police, that's what the police book for. The corruption book, Corruption, My Enemy Now, My Enemy Forever. What I decided to do is to go down to the children and tell them the truth about corruption. Because 12 years, 15 years, we all know about corruption. Our mark and someone to go buy something, we keep the change. We don't even show it up. So I want to go to at least 2nd grade, 3rd grade to start to tell them the truth about corruption. When these children get to know that if you corrupt and you are a principal in the school, if you eat the school money, you know definitely you finish eating, all the teachers then pay. The teacher then will not go to school, the student will not learn anything. So I have decided to go in the book to tell our young children that corruption is bad and you shouldn't do it. So that's the other book which is on corruption. So the last book, which I just submitted couple of days ago to the Ministry of Education, because they all have to be reviewed by them. So the corruption book and the police book have been reviewed, and they gave me the go ahead to sell it. So this is the I Want to Be book. I just brought that, submitted that. They are all going through review, and then that one too, like you just explained to our children and mothers and fathers, it's all about, because the moment you wake up in the morning, even the child will be in fifth grade. Some of them will be in sixth grade. When you finish high school, what you want to be? Oh, I want to be engineer. Yeah. I want to be, a nurse. I want to be a doctor, medical doctor also. But I want to tell them that if you want to be any of these, the first thing you need to do, you need to keep in school. You need to study hard. And then you need to do special course that you will do for you to get qualification to become this person. So by the time we start telling the children the truth about what is ahead, then it will be, I think it will make life easy for them. So that's those are the synopsis of what the books are covering actually.
Are there grace attached to them, or will it be the Ministry of Education and make the determination? Because I'm looking, maybe we could say this corruption, my enemy now and forever could be taught in 5th grade or 6th grade. We say we want to have Police My Friend as a book for 1st or 2nd grade. Would that determination be made by the Ministry of Education?
Yeah, that's why it normally goes through the curriculum review. So they have a team there that will normally review it, and then they say then they will classify as which class is supposed to be for. So my quest is just to continue writing, and things. So yes, so right now, like I said last night, I was blessed. I was blessed to have the education minister one-on-one with the president concerning the launch. Yes, and so she in fact will be representing the president on Friday because of other engagement. The president actually should have been the one to launch the NGO, and then few other individuals will be playing the tax to launch the books as well.
Before we get to the launch, of which you're going to spend a bit of time on, and as well later on a conversation will transition to a few national issues. So usually won't have you can skip that conversation.
I know.
But let's look at when I listened, you mentioned that you had this vision, you had this idea. You have met President Weah before. I mean, sell this idea to him, even present a copies of this book that I want to assist in the education system of our country. But despite all of those engagements, it seemed the president at the time did not listen. I mean, someone is what guaranteed your confidence that the Joe Boakai government will give you the environment so that your work will also be used to educate our children?
Well, I mean, Harris, this is it. When it comes to interest in certain areas, there are people who will be having interest in certain area that if you're doing similar thing to in that area, or you meet them, they will guide you through. But there are people who have no interest in certain area. If you meet them to give you advice relative to that, they are not going to give you the advice. So my thought was that educationally, the past administration wasn't interested in education. So that's why I wasn't giving attention. I mean, why should we give attention to books that are coming from USA for our children to read about snow? What do they know about snow? Why not our own books and things? Why not, support, the ones that are from the ground who are writing something for our children? Let's tell our own story to our own children and things. So, I mean, I was disappointed, and my disappointment actually came about when I was invited by Soup one of these days to go and talk. And I did a talk there, and I talked about the books as well. And there was a question that a student asked me, which was, Max, have you heard about 10%? And I said, well, I've seen some kind of a liquor around in the can. They say, call it 10%. So they all laughed. They said, no, I'm not talking about that. Having anybody ask you about 10%, that if the person helped for the book to be pushed for it to get to where you want, they say of it, each copy they get 10%. So I said, wow, no, I haven't heard of that. Nobody have reached me. I would say, but even at that would be the most dangerous thing that anybody would do to me, because if I'm writing a book about corruption, and then I'll go to somebody to bribe a book to be, somewhere, then I'm also supporting corruption. Why? Then I'm just talking, I'm just doing lip service or so. So that's one of the reasons I decided, actually, I I was coming to Liberia sometime for 2 weeks of that, just to push my these ideas of my writings and things. Nobody gave me attention. Yeah, imagine going to the extent like how I went last night to the president himself to tell him about these books and things. So imagine meeting somebody who can just sit down and say and take a phone call and say, look, do this. And I took that chance. But sometimes again, our people that can be around these leaders, sometimes they can be the bigger problem. My brother Sekou and I, Kalasco, and I have been friends for long, and we've been chatting for long. And he was the one that was given the mandate that day. Oh, Sekou. By the time the president say, oh, Sekou, make sure you know the man. Oh, but they must have to get out. I mean, I was so pleased.
Sekou, you have gotten to the point.
Yeah, Sekou was going to take the responsibility. And the president said, when we reach, make sure we invite the education minister. Even though he's not going to be in the country, but I will call him on the phone while the education minister is sitting, and we'll talk. I will talk. From that day, I started texting my man just to remind him. We're on Messenger together. We're on WhatsApp together. We're chatting most of the time. I go look. I started disappearing from his contact. And on Messenger, I disappeared. On WhatsApp, I disappeared. I couldn't
reach again.
I couldn't send a message again anymore, just to remind, anything. Oh, so I felt so disappointed. This is a young man. This is another, young person who want to contribute and things.
Perhaps it could be because of your stance. So you became radical. I mean, on administration.
But right, Harry, this is it. You say, my criticism is always constructive, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. When I criticize, I make sure I honor there to do something and whatsoever. So if anybody take it personal, then that's it. But I will continue to do it that way.
Okay, so let's wrap up on this initiative. Tell us a bit about the launch on Friday. I'm told that from there we transition to other national discussions.
Yeah, we like say Restoring Hope Foundation Liberia now / international will be officially now launched on Friday, this Friday, day after tomorrow, at the Monrovia City Hall. Both with the textbooks will be launched as well. We're hoping that a host of dignitaries that have been invited will come as well, including UNICEF, including ECOWAS, including the U.S. Embassy, the UK Embassy. But these are institutions that have been working with closely, especially during the days of Justice Forum Liberia. And so the kickstart, we're having a tournament tomorrow, a mini tournament, basketball tournament within the Pinsville belt. Decided to reach out to young people because this organization will be young people focused as well. We will be identifying with talents. We'll be picking up talents as well. And one of the things that we will be doing in the future is student exchange between the UK and
Liberia
and Wales, especially. Wales and Liberia, especially. So we're having the basketball tournament tomorrow in Pinsville City. One of the reasons is that because the organization is in Pinsville, and so we want to inculcate the young people. We want to start with the basketball people, and so we're having a one-day tournament, in which of course we will get the winner in second place, and they will keep their prizes. On Friday we keep the prizes to them as well. And the launch now is open. Yes, we send letters and invitation to some individual, but it is also a public event. The only thing we want, the program is starting by 2:00 on the dot, at least, because we're expecting dignitaries. We want all of you that want to come to grace the occasion to just come at least the latest 1:30 to be seated. Because there are a lot of people we're expecting. If they come, once they enter, you may not enter as well. So, but everyone is invited to come and support this cause as well. So that's how things are going to be like for the launch on Friday.
Yeah. So, folks, you're listening to the conversation this morning. Mr. Pacquiao is here with us this morning, and we finished discussing other issues now surrounding his initiative and what he's about to do back in Liberia. And we hope that the way they did Joey on the Mona do the same with the other government or before.
I tell you, I'll run away. I'll just finish Liberia now.
Yeah, but let's move to a few national issues because we don't have the luxury of time.
Okay.
You've been following our border politics lately, and you've been making some points, some inputs on national issues. Let's begin with your quest for the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Court. Within 6 months and a half, under the administration of Joe Boakai, are you seeing that quest of yours being, reaching to a fruition?
Thank you. As far as what I have been pushing for is concerned, and what I'm now seeing relative to somebody, a high up or the president wanting to support it, I am more of now confident that my sweat, my resources, my money I put into it is about to come to fruition. For the fact that I've been protesting, I've been coming 2 days, 3 days, I'll leave my family, but plane ticket to come and protest, to present a petition, whether to former President Ma Elling or to former President George Weah, and we just go like that. I would just go back like that with no result and thing. But reaching to the point that within 6 months, and this president have set up at least an office, have also agreed to affix his signature on the suggestion made by the House. I am so much, pleased that I'm alive to see this happening today. In fact, to just set up that particular court, that court office, wherein ideas now will be coming as to how the whole thing going to be done, and for the international community as well to be happy that indeed we have started something that they wanted to see long time. Yes, I'm glad that we have reached to this point, that I'm alive to see it happening, and I think we're on the right path now, that justice will finally come for many victims in Liberia.
There has been strong criticisms with regards to the government quest towards that, especially in the establishment of War Economic Crimes Court. If we may recall that, for instance, the 55th legislature, it was predicted by pundits that they would have resisted the president's quest, especially when we look through the legislature. We see a lot of individuals that are quote unquote allegedly or that have been allegedly involved with economic sabotage, and as well as active participation in the civil war. This we predicted earlier that the 55th legislature would have resisted the president quest on this thing, but with the concurrence of both houses, it predicts that they are committed towards this effort. But now there is a conversation that this is just about the office being set out. It is not the court. I mean, the processes leading towards establishment of the court, and the court itself being established, a different conversation that the lawmakers want to buy into. What are the lawmakers will welcome that conversation? Again, is a problem. A lot of folks have considered that this is politically motivated, especially at the time the president has just taken over. There is a way to buy the sympathy of the public. So it's to rub shoulders with the executive and easily establish the office of the court. And the rest of the conversation will just stay right in that office until the president says he has expired.
Well, I mean, wrong analogy, wrong thinking, on patriotic thinking as well. If anybody will be thinking that way, I will be praying for that to happen. I don't think it will happen. The establishment for the Special Code of Sierra Leone started the same way. The constitution of the body that actually spearheaded the TRC in South Africa started the same way. The TRRC of the Gambia started the same way. Today, the war that devastated Cambodia, there are people on trial, and those ideas and things that came about for people to face trial, wherein today at least a 92 years old and 91-year-old went to prison for life. That's all of these things is started with discussions. The discussion that is now continuing, and after listening to us as people who calling for this establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, the discussion is the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court office. Now, this office, I know definitely, it is the office now that is going to pave the way for the establishment of the court, in which advice, will be put forward to the president as to what we need to do. Even for the president of the court will be selected or will be appointed. The advice will come from this office.
Okay.
And this office, as myself, I have some reservation, or I'll be meeting the president one-on-one on that.
But why you don't want to say it? You have open space.
Unless I meet him, I don't want to put the catch on the back. Now, what I want to say.
Was that the way you did with George Weah at the time, or toward your criticism against George Weah administration?
Yeah,
I mean, were you meeting with George Weah prior?
I wrote several communications to asking for audience. I was never given the chance. This one, I wrote communication before even I came in the country. I've been given the chance. It will be after the 26th. So obviously, that's how it goes. So my reservation will be put on the table as a strong advocate, one of the strong of the War and Economic Crimes Court. But the whole thing, Harris, BK, is that this setup, we should embrace it because Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf ignore us. Former President George Weah, whom I thought actually that under his leadership, because of what the declaration he made in 2004, that those who destroy the life of our young people, they must pay for it, and that led him to have getting the peace ambassador by UNICEF. No, UNICEF ambassador. One name, because of that statement. But what did he do? Nothing. And we got to the point when I saw him in office now, even though I never supported him, but when he took over office, I started rethinking. I think President George Weah would be, one indigenous son that will make things to happen, because I know he felt it as well. But for us to have, even want to present just a paper to him, and always we have been looked down. I was hugely disappointed. So even if he was the one that was going to establish this particular office, I was going to be so much overwhelmed that even he set up the court, but
establish an office.
But then he didn't,
have the court
is established. It would have been a plus.
Let's look at before Barker comes into the court. As well, we have had. We have experienced within a space of 6 months since the inception of the Joseph Boakai government. There have been both claims and counterclaims. That is to say, surrogates of the government will say the president is doing great. Those are opposed. The agenda of the government said that within 6 months, a lot of things have happened. That of which it's been amounted to missteps. You want to talk about the rule of law and the different things that the opposition community have pointed toward. I mean, you have critically observed the situations in Liberia. When you were you to ask your fair analysis on the 6 years, the 6 months of President Boakai office, in office, what exactly can you say? I mean, your own analysis towards the process.
Well, government actually is a very complicated thing to run. Word over, I saw government running when I did my 90 days internship in the office of former Prime Minister Tony Blair. So I saw how government was running, and I saw how diplomacy was moving in that office and thing for 3 months. And so I learned a lot, and a lot of what I learned from there will actually, continue to just build me up as well. Yes, I can say that within the 6 months, 6 months period of government, in terms of what they have done to for us, for the country, so far is even is uncomparable to even the first year of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. It's even uncomparable to the first 2-3 years of the past administration. I must admit that, because there are a lot of things that actually critically looked into, and then I actually criticize constructively. And so, given the fact, for me, what I have been fighting for, number one, this War and Economic Crimes Court. I'm telling you, I want to repeat myself again. If former President Weah has set up this particular office, and even without appointing the president of the court, he didn't achieve it. But this court now is was established and met this court. It would have been a plus. If former President Weah had lived up to his promise from his strong background, in which he promised to even build the 7 stadiums, if they are going to build 2, that internationally, if Sierra Leone, if FIFA say we can't play this game in Sierra Leone, and then Sierra Leone come to us that we want to use your stadium, and we go to Bon County or we go to Grand Gide, we play such a game in the sports stadium that a former footballer have built, it would have been a plus. So I don't really, sometimes I find it very, very difficult to do any comparison. I don't want to do comparison. The 6-month period, we have seen the fight against corruption. In that, I am not actually baffled, because to fight corruption in Liberia, let's be very frank, it is difficult. I remember even former President Weah said it, that we are one family. It's hard. When you grab one, you grab so many people. And well, for this president, the administration to listen to our call by virtue of even setting up, empowering the anti-grafts, institutions to make sure that things must go on, and establishing at least a body that will say, no, you know why? We are going to see about people declaring their assets and things. All of that are a huge step forward in terms for the future of this country to be built, on a level that our children that come here will be afraid of even getting into corruption tomorrow. So I'm pleased. It just the assets recovery team was a team that I had problem with, and I took it all with the minister in the Ministry of State. There, I called a lot of people there while I was away, because the way they started, I never wanted them to start that. We have the GSA. Okay, we have GSA. GSA have records of everyone. Whether that's the minister, they gave you car.
Yeah, they have
a record of that. Now, you coming into administration, what can you go to GSA, the asset recovery team? I expected them to have gone to GSA. Give us the records of people that get government vehicle, people that already bought the government vehicle, that they have right to keep it also. Let's know the differences and things. Then you know them. All you need to do what? Read Harris. Harris, we understand, you are the deputy minister at certain point, and government assigned you car. Yeah, we understand you stay keeping the car also. We'd like to have conversation with you. Invite Harris. Let Harris come and ask Harris. Yeah, we need a car. Why you stay keeping it? You give it. But boom, like how President Weah did when they came to power, in the street, they started arresting people and taking them out from those cars and things. To have repeated the same thing, it was wrong.
So what can we take calls?
Yeah, so we'll take few calls on 0778665699, like 2 to 3 calls. 0778665699. But just before we take that call, the coming in country of yellow machines and the lawmakers, they have been this up and down. You want to, in 1 minute time before we take calls, you want to chip in on that?
Anybody that will want to stand in the way of what would develop this country, you will be an unpatriotic citizen of this country. You are against Liberia and Liberians. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, 0778665699. Keep your calls coming in this morning. Max Pacquiao is here with us this morning on a Punch Breakfast Show. We can take your calls 0778 665-699. Once again, 0778-665-699 or 0880-561-644. You listen to him. You listen to his a conversation here this morning with us on the Punch Breakfast Show. And it's mind-blowing. And he appreciates the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Code, his launch of the books here in Liberia pretty soon at the Monrovia City Hall is going to be there. That's where it's going to be taking place. And he's part of those that are trying to bring change within our country. His own institution that has been established and that want to form part of the rebuilding process of Mama Liberia. So you can now call us on 0778-665-699. Once again, 0778-665-699 or 0880-561-644, 0880-561-644. Before we take leave of Max Pacquiao here this morning, Harris.
Yeah, of course, and like you said, there's a good one though, but I'm just a bit puzzled that Max Pacquiao has been very diplomatic with this administration. I'm still thinking when how soon will we see? How soon do we expect the critical Max Pacquiao?
But you say I've been diplomatic. I don't think so. I started the same way. It took me 1 year, before I even started talking, constructing the constitution the past administration. It took me 1 year, and within that 1 year, I have written about maybe 7 to 8 communications, and there was no response or so. This is the same thing I'm doing. Like what I told you, I've written at least the first communication that I want to have interface with the president, and I have been making calls that I just told you about the asset recovery team. I call people within the Ministry of State to express my feelings as a Liberian. I said I voiced out that the way the government started, it was not the right thing. It was not the right way to go for the asset recovery. They had no right to have stop our citizens in the street, put them down from the cars, or go to one other company and just stop them from doing their business or so. Do it the right way and things. So in terms of accept that I didn't call on your show to talk this thing that I'm talking. I did it diplomatically. I call and to say if it had not stopped to continue, then obviously yes, I'm going to come on it.
Okay, until government refuses to listen.
That's it.
We hope the government refuses to listen. So Mark, instead since there's no call this morning, you want to wrap up from your end? We are already out of time. The news is up next.
Well, I just want to appreciate the management of Punch FM, all of you guys that are here that are keeping this institution alive. Thank you so much. Somebody got to sacrifice for something for it to continue to live on. I just want to appreciate all of you. I want to appreciate everybody that always know my life.
How soon do we expect you?
Guys, let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Your name, where joining us from?
I'm Francis Boyman. I call from Johnson. I want to thank your studio guest very much for his expose. At least he has touched on various issues. But my attention is drawn to his books and the organization. I really want to know which area the organization will be focusing on. And my second question would be, where is the office located?
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
I think that's the only call, isn't it? At present, you can contact us using the JMB Foundation in Painesville City. We are focusing on mainly our first target would be persons or children with living with disabilities, and then disadvantaged girls and women. Harris, for now, I did what I did for the children of Liberia. I never did it for Liberia to pay me back. I never did it for job. So that's why I'm comfortably well seated for my family, and I will continue. If I get £1, I use 20p and put it into charitable cause. I'm happy where I am.
Okay, I'm happy to where I am. I don't need government job right now.
No, I don't need it. Thank you.
Okay, folks. So so we wrap it up this morning on the show. Join us tomorrow morning. That's when we back here